So we wanted to give you this at 10,000 subscribers. Then we passed it. Then we were going to give it to you at 12,000 subscribers, and then we passed that. So today is about the last day we can give you a 15,000 subscriber special edition video, because maybe by the time this is uploaded, we'll have hit 16,000. Who the hell knows? But it's been a crazy ride, and before we get into all this shit, I just want to say thanks to the thousands and thousands of you who have joined our channel recently. So tonight, all the bullshitters are here, and what we're going to do is we're going to answer the questions that you sent to us over on YouTube with the community tab. So people out there that missed out on that, make sure you check out our little text post, because we ask you guys questions and put up polls all the time, and the results are here on the channel. So let's do the introductions. I'm your host, Jeff Hicks, and with me tonight is the one, the only, Dion Green.
Baby, back at it again. 15K motherfuckers. I feel like touching myself tonight.
Dude, you're going to do that no matter what, so don't act like these 15... Now, these 15,804 people want you to touch them, because you owe 15,804 handjobs.
Well, I also know that one of them, you got to subtract one because he couldn't spell my goddamn name right. So fuck that guy. You know who you are.
Dude, you would be surprised how many people that like our show spell your name wrong.
I wouldn't be surprised one bit.
It's not even like you have a rare name.
Yeah, there were literally like 4 people, like my mom, my dad, the girl I ended up knocking up, and then you. Anyone else? God, what the fuck?
It's a very basic name. I mean, I can name multiple people named Dion off the top of my head. It's not like your name is Curtis
Trevek or something, yeah.
Alec Trevekian.
It's not like your name is Aziz Ansari or something. You got try spelling that bullshit.
Well, yeah, Nick, you don't have any room to talk.
I know.
And then finally, our newest bullshitter, and then, well, no one's ever going to replace him. So, Kenny, he's Kendo Slice, Kenny Hofer. Why am I going to call you by your real name?
Breaking kayfabe.
Kayfabe's dead after that shitty Monday Night Raw.
True. God, that was so bad.
It was.
Yeah. What the fuck? Why did I spend all that time getting excited for an episode of Raw? Ooh.
Dude, I was right up there with you. I was like, man, it's gonna be so good tonight. Opening segment was awesome, and then it was just like, here's a bag of crap for you to look at for 2 hours.
A bunch of old dudes in the ring at the end. I was like, what the fuck am I? Why did I stay up for this?
That opening was the best opening to Raw in many, many years.
I will say this though, at least we weren't.
That was the only good thing about it.
We weren't in the Manhattan Center after we spent multiple hundreds of dollars for what they got.
Well, I was at Phil's house, so there's trade-offs.
Yeah, well, I'd rather be at the Manhattan Center.
No, dude, I get over there.
We can dream, Kenny. We can dream.
Well, since this is topical, since there were former world-class bullshitters that are no longer on the channel, people, we went to Phil's house, and I'm thinking, I'll just take over dinner, we'll watch the show, and I'll go home. They planned like a mini party with like a Chick-fil-A party platter and all kinds of shit.
That's not bad.
What? Chick-fil-A party platters? Come on, man.
Yeah, those are good.
Dan can eat a whole one of those by himself.
Yeah, we know. We can tell.
He looks at me in the eye. He goes, I know we're cutting back for the movie, but today is a cheat day. And I'm thinking to myself, what was yesterday?
When have you not been cheating, you evil motherfucker?
Dan, it's called a cheat day, not a cheat life. Okay, come on, man.
Well, it's going to be a short life if he keeps cheating.
Jeez. Dan, we need like 3 or 4 movies out of you. Just give us that, and then you can die. Okay?
Yeah, Dan, you have some important parts in Who Killed Phil. So
yeah. So like, just be alive enough for those.
We don't need you to be the asthmatic Princess Leia of our movies, all right? don't croak in the middle of our shit, all right?
If you get blown out into space, I'm just going to leave your ass to die. Sorry.
You better not fly back. We're not opening the goddamn door. We're not opening the goddamn door if you fly back. I'm sorry.
It makes Star-Lord.
No.
His eyes will freeze over.
No take-backsies, no.
One and done, Dan. One and done. Dan maybe listen to this. I don't know. He may listen to it. Who knows? But anyway, let's get to some of these questions because we have quite a few. So I'll read probably 90% of them. Some of them are dumb. Some of them are funny. Some of them are really important. The first one is, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? I'm just going
17.
I'm just going to answer a lot for everybody.
About 10 pounds.
What is 17?
Dustin's dick.
What,
that would be
years
what
old?
is 3.
Oh, there you go. Okay, here. This one comes from Pumpkin. What was one thing you liked in The Last Jedi?
When it ended.
Nick?
I don't know, that cool thing that happened with the ship when it went to light speed and cut through all the other ships, that was cool. That was the only thing, though, I think. That's it.
Dion?
Shit, I gotta think about it.
You want to think for a minute while I give mine?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, my favorite moment was when Luke Skywalker died. I know that sounds dumb. I wish he didn't die. But when when he died and it revealed the twin sons and it played the music from the first movie, I thought, wow, they finally did one thing right. So that's my one thing. Everything else, this movie can fucking rot in hell.
I liked the ships climbing through hyperspeed, but for me, the thing I liked the most was when she went to force grab Anakin's fucking lightsaber, and Snoke made it go around the room and hit her in the fucking head. I was just like, you fucking deserve that. I really hope that bruises.
I did laugh at that point.
That would be one of 2 injuries in the whole fucking series that she's gotten.
I got
so
a
far.
cut on my arm and a bruise on my head. Would you fall?
I would have loved
or
like
some
behind the scenes, like they do like a party after the movie or whatever, or even during the opening, and she's like, "Yeah, that split me open," and someone in the background goes, "Good bitch."
She has a mushroom.
Time.
Yeah, the lightsaber gave her like a mushroom stamp, like fucking bruise or something.
Or she like it's like a brain injury where she constantly hears a murmuring in her fucking ear, and it's like, that's what you get for ruining the thing I love, you fucking.
You got tinnitus, bitch. Fuck you.
Oh.
Mom.
So here's a question that probably got asked a couple of times. So this one came from Moff Weiskeller, but I think someone else asked this too. So how do all the bullshitters know each other? It's kind of simple. I pretty much know everybody independently, and then so I know Dion from college. I know Dustin from college, and how I met them is one day I'm walking back from the cafeteria, I hear a wrestling ring bell, I knock on some dude's door, I was like, are you watching WWE? He said yes, he invited me in, we started hanging out, his birthday was like a week later, we went to a strip club, there was this dude named Dion and his then girlfriend Hillary, and Dion and I both got this stripper to like give us a concussion with her ass, and we became instant friends.
Yep.
That is a 100% true story, not embellished. How I know Dan, Loudy, and Phil is basically through wrestling, and I went to high school with Loudy and Dan, so that was that. Met Nick at a convention.
Yeah, that was one of those things. Yeah, because it was one of those conventions where all the tables are together, and you had to like go behind, like several fucking tables to get out. And I think it was your first convention. It was like my fifth or something. And we just every time I kept going past him, I kept saying sorry, and it became a joke that we kept doing that. We just kept louder and louder and just being assholes to each other. Not really assholes, but just being just trying to be inconvenient to each other, and it was fine. And we started talking about all the stuff we like and what we've done and everything, and we really got to know each other. And it was a fun weekend. Yeah, we hit it off, and went back to his hotel room. One thing led to another. We became friends.
Yeah. Dan was there. He filmed it. That'll be on
That's
Patreon
true.
next week.
That's true. That'll be a top tier Patreon video next week. So.
Yeah, for the 4 of you that are $25 a month patrons, you get that video. Dude,
you may not want it, but you're getting it.
The best time we ever had hanging out before the podcast was when you were here in Cincinnati and we were both working Horror Hound, and you brought Kyle and my underage cousin was there.
Oh my god!
And you hit on her.
Jesus!
That's a story for another day, but
that was a fun fucking show. Because I get to see you again. We got to hang out, and we had a good fucking night. A good fucking Saturday night. I remember going to the liquor store with you, and I was just like, "Shit, man!" Had a bunch of shit.
We just went to Kroger. Don't tell anybody though.
Okay.
It was a rich Kroger with a wine section.
Yeah, I remember you took us. I took us out pretty far to the nice Kroger, and I was like, "This is really nice."
Yeah, I mean, it's funny how when everybody that's been on that's on this podcast right now, when you guys all come to Cincinnati, you think we're one place, but in reality we're so close to so many things, but we never go there. So I talk about all these things, and you're just like, and then you realize oh shit, it's a mile from where we are. So Cincinnati's got a lot of cool things, and Dion and Kendo, you'll be here in a couple days, so we'll do some more.
Yeah.
And for the record, everybody, Kendo was a listener.
Yeah.
He was a patron. He came on Ring Rust. He proved to be a smart dude, so I invited him on here when Dustin kind of just, flaked. And now we have the final four. The best four.
The Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I was going to say Fab Four, but I don't like the Beatles, so.
The Fat Four.
Dream on! Oh, wait.
That's Aerosmith, asshole!
Wait a second.
My uncle would be so pissed off at you
right
now. Okay, this one comes from Francis Kilpatrick. Are you looking forward to the Solo Polished Turd trailer dropping? Will you go see the movie? Of course we'll go see the movie. It's for this channel.
I will sneak into the movie.
Every post that we have about that movie will just be hashtag not my solo the whole fucking time.
I'm gonna do what I
Hashtag
always
myself.
do. Nope. Yeah, exactly. I agree with Nick wholeheartedly.
Yeah, like that's gonna happen. Everything is just gonna be not my solo because I'm going to treat it like the Justice League movie where they did massive reshoots and advertising all this other bullshit, and it's going to be like a $450 million movie that they're not going to say the budget for, obviously, and it's just going to be a dumpster fire. It's going to be horrible.
Oh yeah, it'll just help our channel because at least we'll have something to rip on. It's like we had The Last Jedi, that's been great, and then I really don't have too much to say about Black Panther except like the media buzz surrounding it pisses me off, which is the next question, and then we got Star Wars and Avengers in the same month and Deadpool. So like, there's a lot of world class bullshitters content coming your way, guys. Good world class bullshitters content.
Your face.
Okay, so are you? Do you see all the drama surrounding Black Panther? This makes me not want to see it. And this one comes from Mega Man EXE. Yeah, we all see it.
Yeah, I mean, and I mean that. I don't know if that's been their whole. I don't know if Marvel's been perpetuating that or not. I don't think so because they haven't really said anything about it. But it just seems like the people have been doing it more than Marvel has.
Dude, I'll make you a Duke's brother bet right now that Black Panther will be just like Wonder Woman, where the media and these dickheads on the internet that think they're so woke talk about Black Panther and we was Kangs and all this other shit, and then the movie doesn't talk about that at all. It's just like Wonder Woman. It wasn't about feminism. It was like, hey, Wonder Woman can kick ass and she's cool. Black Panther is a king and can kick ass and is cool. That'll be it. That'll be the movie, and then it won't offend anyone or really turn anybody off. They're gonna do that with Captain Marvel, though, I bet.
Yeah, I think so. But like, I mean, yeah, Black Panther. I mean, seems like a cool character. I'm kind of partially excited about watching Black Panther because that's a character that I know very little about. So that'll be nice to know more about it. But I mean, other than that, I mean, yeah, I'm not really. I'm not watching it because he's black. I'm watching it because it's a comic book movie. So.
And you're watching it for this channel.
Yeah, that's why I'm watching it.
That's the main reason. Let's go with that.
Plus, I want to see a yoked up Michael B. Jordan.
I can't wait till he stops acting or dies. Whatever.
He's so good.
At what? Dying in Fruitvale Station? Fuck him. There are a few actors I legitimately hate, and he is at the top of my list. He's just such an unlikable.
Why are you hating him again?
He's so unlikable. Like,
he does do a lot of shit that annoys the shit out of you.
He may be fine on screen, but everything about him in real life just pisses me off. Now, Michael Cera sucks on screen, but he's so like quiet and content in real life that I forget he even exists. And he was banging Aubrey Plaza, so that was, he's got to be doing something right.
I've tried to forget that he exists.
Yeah, I mean, like, look at those fucking sex he was getting from her. I mean, come on.
Yeah, well,
God damn, I still blows my mind that was meant for Michael fucking.
I know, dude. He was fucking pulling it.
Wrong. I can barely get my chick to send me a good morning text, but he gets fucking texts from Aubrey fucking Plaza.
Well, we're all winners in this case, so.
That's true. I do love watching that video.
So the next three questions are all kind of similar about the whole rumors that The Last Jedi stole from fanfiction. So Manu86, 28th M, Albedo, and Gogol 1980 were essentially about those. None of us, I guess I could speak for everybody, none of us have read. We may have all heard the headline that it borrowed from fanfiction or ripped it off, but none of us know the fanfiction, so
right.
Can't really answer those.
Yeah. I mean, God, remember
that surprise me.
Does it?
No, I said it doesn't surprise me if they've just ripped off fan fiction because it looked like a fan fiction movie.
Yeah, I remember that hit, man. Like Twitter went crazy. I got like 8 messages from people. It's like, "Have you heard about this? Have you heard about this?" I was like, "Heard about it now. Thanks." But yeah, I mean, I mean, even then, if you write fan fiction and somebody's copied it, is that really a crime?
No. They own the property.
Yeah, they own the property, so is that really a crime?
It just does. It goes to show you how creatively bankrupt, though, the 6 out of 8 female writers on Kathleen Kennedy's writer squad truly are. It's like, hey, I'm going to Google Star Wars. Oh, this is a good idea. Oh, I'm going to steal it because we can. Like, that just is it reflects poorly on their character.
It does, man. It really does. And also Rian Johnson just saying pretty much fuck you to J.J. Abrams during the whole movie was kind of hilarious.
Yeah, that's my job to say fuck you to J.J. Abrams, all right? You fucked up Star Wars.
Yeah,
Rian Johnson fucked it up worse.
Yeah, he did, because he went like J.J. Abrams had this path and this whole thing put out and everything, and then Rian Johnson's like, well, you're going straight. Well, let's go left, and then back to the right, and then up again, and then this way. Because just I'm doing my own thing, J.J. Fuck you. Give me the wheel, goddammit.
And then put it in the dialogue, the parts that are dumb in the previous movie, and then just ignore them.
Oh God. No Knights of Ren. Rey's parents were just fucking shitty drunks who just traded her young sweet behind for Coke money.
It was never sweet. Shut up.
Yeah. Easy there, Dustin.
Hey, you can't talk about my friend
see,
like that.
Dustin would be talking about Kylo Ren's sweet ass. That's a different.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you seen that video, How to Get Wide Like Kylo Ren?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That is incredible.
So good.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's the one thing.
Here's the thing that scares me about that is that when I go to Dragon Con this year, there's gonna be 80 dudes shirtless walking around like Kylo Ren.
And none of them probably should be shirtless.
It's gonna. I'm telling you, it's gonna fucking happen. It's gonna fucking happen. I'll be at Dragon Con in line getting my Starbucks in the morning. And there's gonna be 3 dudes in front of me, just fucking shirtless like Kylo Ren. It's like, God damn it! I didn't need this right now.
Is that this September?
Yeah. That's in September. Yeah.
I feel like I should go to this one now that the channel's kind of in a good place. I should go with T-shirts, and maybe we film and interview people, and stuff like that.
Yeah, man, it's one hell of a weekend. Let me tell you,
that sounds like a great idea.
I was about to say, you guys,
a lot of people.
Should we, the 4 of us, finally do an official trip together, where we go do that for the channel?
I like the way that sounds, good sir.
We can get a big hotel room in Atlanta, close by, and then not be sober and make that happen.
You're speaking my language.
There's a ton of shit to do there. There you have all the celebrities will do their panels. You have several workshops. You have all kinds of they're showing movies there and stuff. Plus, just hanging out in the main hotel where all the people are during the the late hours. Oh man, it's insane the amount of costumes and shit you see. It's a lot of fun.
Now, I read further into Gogol 1980's question. He said, what is a single thing you would change to possibly make the film better in your eyes? For me, it's making Kylo Ren more than one person. If you have a knock-on effect, that would change the whole story and make me reinvest in the franchise.
There isn't one thing to change to make it better. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You need to change way too many things to make it better.
I would change Kathleen Kennedy being in charge of Lucasfilm.
Yeah, I would just change the fact that Disney owns Lucasfilm back to Lucas.
Imagine if George Lucas made episodes 7, 8, and 9. 1, Han Solo wouldn't have died, and 2, it would have just been the old characters for one more run. That would have been so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what he would have done is that he would have talked to them, they would have said okay, let's pass the torch. And he would have done it correctly. As opposed to this, where it's just it's given to these kids. It's just given to them. They just show up and they're like, "All right, we're just here, and we're ethnic, and we're diverse, and we're gonna take everything." So,
Han and Chewie would have died together on the Falcon, and the Falcon wouldn't be a merchandising tool to bridge the 2 generations. Because I went to my local Toys R Us, which by the way is going out of business, which really saddens me, and they had honestly about 15 to 20 Millennium Falcons from The Force Awakens, and you could tell that they had been there a long time because the box had started to deteriorate.
Yeah.
It was damaged. And then I'm like, who's buying this? Nobody. But when they had that fucking deluxe Millennium Falcon that came out a couple years ago that was $220, people bought them up like crazy. So Star Wars isn't a bad place. Okay, this is a non-Star Wars question. It's a lot of fun. And, we'll answer this in a specific order. I'll go last. So I'm going to ask Nick, then Kendo, then Dion, then myself. Have you ever walked out of any movie, just said, fuck this, stood up and walked out of a cinema? Nick.
Oh, shit. No, my thing is if I get bored, I don't like a movie, I fall asleep. Like that's honestly my thing. I do not walk out. I will just fall asleep and snore loudly and piss everybody off. That's my way of saying fuck this movie. Like I'll just like, just sit there and just put my head back and just sleep. That's my way of saying fuck you, honestly.
Now, Kendo, your answer is It, right?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Fuck that movie. I hate it.
Yeah, it's not like you have the marquee poster of it, above your bed.
That's true. It's not above my bed. It's in the dining room.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sassy bitch.
No. I almost walked out of Bruno.
Why?
Because I was like, all right, so I was a fan of the Ali G show, so I knew what was coming because I saw the Ali G in the House movie. Actually, I own them all except Bruno on DVD. I saw Borat, was excited, so I knew it was coming for Bruno. He's going to be, based on the show, he's going to be going to fashion shows and asking questions and making people look like idiots and submitting designs that he wants to see on the runway that are just awful and everything like that. But word got out that Sacha Baron Cohen's going around doing his Bruno thing, and after the first 15 minutes, it degenerated into extremely gay Borat, and I'm like, it's not as funny anymore. It's just there's something. It just wasn't all there. And my buddy's like, dude, we got to get out here, and I'm just like, no, hang on, let's just give it a few minutes. But he was really on it, and I almost left just to get him to because we were both at that point. I was just like, God, we just need to get out of here. This is just awful. But we stuck it out. I'm glad I did because the whole Straight Dave's man slamming Max out thing was pretty good. And in hindsight, it's probably not as bad as I thought it was. It was just I was caught so off guard by what I was expecting and what ended up happening that I was just like, do I want to continue to watch this? And then The Last Jedi, I wanted to walk out as soon as Luke died because I had made that oath that pledge that if he dies, I'm walking out. But
yeah.
It was so impossible to get out of that theater. I was literally wedged into the seat that I was in.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
No, it's okay. The guy on the other side of me was being even more weird. If I even slightly moved over to give myself some breathing room, he bumped, would forcefully bump into me and then back off. I'm like, are you territorial over your armrest, dude? What's going on here, man?
You should have pulled a Jeff and told him to fuck off like I did the guy behind me.
Dude, that video is hilarious.
I didn't want to get into a fight. I don't want to get into shit in another state because I don't want to go to Ohio jail.
You'd be in Kentucky, so
I don't want to go to Kentucky jail.
Yeah, they'd make
it's even worse.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Dion.
Yes, I did actually. One time, I ended up getting swindled into seeing, and I think Jeff, you'll remember this story. I got swindled into seeing Sisterhood of the Cum Stained Pants 2.
Oh. God.
And I was so pissed. I walked out and I went to. I leaned over to Hillary and I told her, I said, I'm gonna go see The Dark Knight. And I walked next door and I went to The Dark Knight and caught the second half of The Dark Knight. And shortly afterwards, I see Hillary sneak in and she finds me and sits down next to me and she finished watching The Dark Knight with me. So I have walked out of a movie before, which I always say I'm never gonna do because I at least want to have an opinion so I can shit on it. But I couldn't take that fucking movie. Dude. I couldn't take that movie.
For me, I went to see Child 47 with Tom Hardy and Gary Oldman. I think that's what it's called. But my cousin and I went to see it at 10:30 on a Saturday, and there was no one else in the theater. So we just kept talking to each other. And about every 5 minutes, we would up the volume to see how loud we could get. And we'd start yelling at each other. And then we just decided to leave because it was unbearably bad.
Yeah.
It was, oh God, it was the worst. I mean, I sat through movie 43... Child 44 is the name of the movie. Came out in 2015. It's about...
The Russian serial killer or whatever?
1950 Soviet Russia secret police agent Leo Demidov loses everything when he refuses to denounce his wife, Nomi Rapace, as a traitor. Yeah, it's fucking garbage. It is the worst movie I've ever seen in theaters. Well...
The closest I ever came to doing it the second time was when Hillary and I went and saw The Amazing Spider-Man. We both, I shit you not, we were sitting there and you could tell the whole theater was just like, what the fuck? That movie felt like it was 2 hours long, and we kept saying should we go? Should we go? And like, no, let's at least finish it. Just say we watched it. I mean, that's the closest I ever got to doing that shit a second time.
By the way, this question came from EON Forrest, so thank you, EON Forrest. So far, it's been my favorite question. Now, this next question, I don't know who it's from because not English text as their screen name. It looks like Greek or something. I don't know. So, person with this question, I hope you remember it. Will the reboots would stop at some point? That's how it's written. Basically, it says, do you wish they'd stop doing reboots? And what would it take to make Hollywood great again?
Absolutely. Besides the complete financial meltdown of a studio from making these goddamn reboots, go back to the fucking tropes that worked in the 80s and the 90s. Action flicks, and if you want to make a drama, it's a drama. Don't make these confused characters that don't know what they're doing. If you want to have an action movie, it's big fucking muscular dudes who get in fights and fucking slap hands and bang chicks. And if you want to make a good drama movie, make it compelling, make it interesting, make it like The Godfather. Stop all this bullshit where you want to purposefully be topical and you're shoving a message down people's fucking throat. Just tell a good fucking story and stop making goddamn biopics. Jesus Christ. We don't need another Jackie Robinson movie. All right? Will Smith was fine as Muhammad Ali. We don't need all this shit. Just make a good movie. I want to see the next goddamn Arnold Schwarzenegger, but instead of from Austria, he's from like Jacksonville, Florida or something. He looks like a badass. That's what I want.
I mean,
it
could have been The Rock.
I think no. I could take one more Steve Jobs movie. I think like one more would would be enough.
Who would play him this time?
I will. I'll play Steve Jobs.
Okay. Shut up. That actually might be good. Because he's like a real actor now.
Yeah. Shia LaBeouf plays him during his like fucking psychedelic years, like real heavy.
He should play him during the cancer years and actually get cancer, so he can method act.
Oh my god!
He keeps carrying around a banner that says "Cancer will not divide us."
Oh my god! He
keeps stealing it.
He just stays overnight in Chernobyl, and he's like, "Yep, I got it now for sure. I got cancer."
All right, now I can really get into the headspace of Steve Jobs. Oh shit, I don't want to die. Well, no Transformers 7 for you, Shia.
Aww.
So, what may cause Hollywood to make movies great again? Well, like Dion said, with these weird agendas that they put in these movies, they don't really appeal to the everyman, and I'm just using the phrase everyman. Like, worried about political correctness. Political correctness is the death of comedy. If you go back and watch the old John Landis shit, or Mel Brooks, stuff like that, you get the kind of like raw, guttural laughs, like old Harold Ramis movies like Caddyshack. That shit is funny forever.
No, that's 100% true. I think we're going to see that happen over the next 2 years, because we have a bunch of stuff coming out in the next 2 years, and every weekend seems packed. So you're going to have a lot of studios that are going to lose a lot of fucking money over the next 2 years, and they're going to have to make hard choices. I mean, for one thing, I love that Blumhouse last year invested very little money into, I think, 3 movies and made their money back tenfold. And that is the key. You concentrate on story. You concentrate on making something good and fun and memorable. And you put only you don't overinflate the budget. You just put in what you can. You make it the way you can, and you put it out there. And they did a damn good job with that.
Wasn't the Belko Experiment one of those?
I don't think so. I could be wrong, but let's see. Belko, let's see. It was... I don't know.
I still gotta see that. It looked really fucking good.
Wasn't John C. McGinley in that movie?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
No. It was done by MGM and Orion Pictures and stuff.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, distributed by, let's see, production company was MGM, the Saffron Company, Troll Court Entertainment, distributed by Orion Pictures and BH Tilt. That's what it says on Wikipedia. But no, that movie was awesome as well, and it was I was so like there was a lot of gore, but it was for a purpose, so I was fine with that. And man, that was such a good movie, such a good movie. And what was the budget? What's the budget on it? $5 million. Good God. Yeah, I mean, and that was a good, exciting movie. It had a lot of action, a lot of crazy stuff. In the beginning, they had a lot of like the basic office. You learned about the people through like all the basic office stuff they went through, but it was a good movie. Like I really highly recommend it.
It looked really good. Like I said, outside the few faces I recognized, But that's a great example. I mean, even though it was, I'm surprised to hear that it was Orion and MGM, but that's a perfect way to solve this problem. Is focus on making a good movie. If you've learned anything from the Transformers movies, which are the physical embodiment of fucking
Shit.
quantity over quality, those movies are fucking, they make a bunch of movie in name alone, but they get ripped apart. Fucking, they're losing. They're not making as much. Each sequel's making less money than its predecessor, and especially with all the gaping plot holes just to make it look cool. The Transformers movies are a fucking joke. Then he tries to go make Ninja Turtles. They're a fucking joke. If Hollywood is in a bad, we think fucking Star Wars is in a bad place. So many parts of Hollywood are in a shitty place right now.
Well, I think what's happening is that it's been going on for a long time now. Whenever a property hits big, they immediately milk it immediately, and it seems like once like something, or even if it's like a known property like Turtles or anything like that, they'll immediately be like, all right, 3-picture deal, option 3 more. That's what they do. But if it's like something that is a one-off and then hits hard, they're like, all right, you're getting your whole universe built out.
Well, look
at the next 10 movies, of this.
Well, look at how they did Back to the Future. First one comes out in '85, biggest film of the year, tons of money on video, blah 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 blah. It took 4 years to get a sequel, and then Part 3 came out right after that, and that was it. And they've kept it alive through merchandise, re-releases, stuff like that, and it works. And people hold those in such high regard. Up until 2016, Ghostbusters was in the same wagon. The first one's a classic, the second one's okay, and then you had that video game come out, which was essentially the third movie. And then through merchandise and nostalgia, you kept the franchise alive, and it still made Sony or Columbia or whoever, well, it's the same, a bunch of fucking money. But you're right, dude, they milk everything instantly, and like, Dion and I grew up Star Wars fans, like ridiculous Star Wars fans. We're talking toy lightsabers, AT-ATs, tons of action figures, Halloween costumes, Valentine's Day cards, candies. I was cleaning my back office the other day. I found a fucking Darth Vader duffel bag that said "Join the Dark Side" and shit. So I was decked out in Star Wars stuff as a kid, trading cards, you name it. But it's not an age thing. Like, I still like James Bond. I liked it when I was a kid. I like it as an adult. They've treated it with, some respect throughout the years. It's too much, If you have your favorite meal every night, it's not your favorite meal anymore. It's just Tuesday's dinner. It's not an event. It's nothing to get pumped up for.
Yeah, and I mean that's why I'm kind of thankful with like the John Wick stuff. Like John Wick hit hard and they're making it its own thing, but it's not like they're pumping out John Wick 2. It's immediate, like the year after John Wick 1 came out. They're giving it 2 years. They're making it and doing it right and giving it time, and then they're doing it.
If they kill him in Part 3, I probably will be depressed for a week. Because Dion knows that.
I don't understand it.
I'm tired I'm tired of these heroes like, they gotta die. No,
I know. Thank you.
McClane didn't die. Yeah, Die Hard 5 sucked, but he had a good ending.
I know. I hate that. This fucking. I'm so sick of the self-sacrificing hero. Like, what is wrong with making a movie where he goes out, he kills all the fucking bad guys, he gets the girl, and then he rides off in the sunset? What's wrong with you have even whatever the hero is, his enemy is, whatever his fucking mission is, the hero, he or she goes out, they get laid, they fucking kill their enemy, and then they have a nice little quip at the end of the movie, and then the fucking credits roll with a Tina Turner song. Like, what the fuck is the matter with that? And
it drives me
insane.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, what the fuck, man?
Well, Dion, that would answer the last question. What would make movies great again? Making movies fun. Like, when you leave the theater, instead of being pissed off and depressed and divisive, leave the theater happy. Like, why not end movies positively? People think, being a hippie and being positive is stupid. Well, people loved how, like, Return of the Jedi had a happy ending, and no one really, besides the Ewoks, nobody bitched about that movie. Everyone was fine. That's the end of Star Wars. They all lived happily ever after. Good. James Bond rides off into the sunset with his women. Indiana Jones literally rode off into the sunset.
Yes.
That was the best ending to any trilogy. I mean, what do? Literally go off into the sunset for numerous other adventures. There were books, there were video games, computer games. There were further adventures of Indiana Jones, but we ended it on a high note. No, we got to bring out the fourth one. And then we dilute it, because now, when you think Indiana Jones, the most recent one, is the most fresh in everyone's mind, and it sucks dick. Like, it's not a good movie. I'll make a video down the road on why Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is the worst film ever in the Indiana Jones saga, and not Temple of Doom.
Right.
So tired
No,
of people shitting on
absolutely.
Temple of Doom.
I know that pisses me off. I love Temple of Doom, but even to make a more recent comparison, fucking Mad Max Fury Road. I mean, fucking explosions. There's a story behind it. They fucking kill the fucking bad guy. His face gets ripped off. They pull in it. Everyone's cheering. Mad Max, because it's a fucking prequel, sips off into the sequel, but he ends looking at the goddamn the other fucking hero in the movie, and she literally ascends. And then it's the end of the fucking movie with crazy awesome music. Like, what the fuck? Like, and then, I was surprised that Mad Max did so well. You were fucking surprised that it got nominated for... Really? You were surprised that it got nominated?
Movie kicked ass.
That's fucking why. It was a fun goddamn movie. John Wick. His fucking dog gets capped. He fucking kills everybody. And then he gets a new dog, gets a new fucking car, and drives off. Like, what the fuck,
And then in the
man?
second... You saw the second one, right, Dion?
Oh, of course.
And then the second one, I don't know if the second one's better. I haven't seen the first one since it was out in theaters, but I leave the John
I've seen
Wick
it again.
movies
I think
pumped.
the second one's better. Like he with him with the dog and like him just leaves as a badass. Even Rom Common was good in that movie.
Yes, he was.
I gotta say, second number two, I'd say is one's a close second. It might be 1A, 1B, but I say 2 is better. But yeah, a fun movie, just over
Maybe
the top.
we should watch them this
shit.
weekend.
We should.
I got him on Blu-ray.
I have them on Blu-ray, and I know somebody's got a digital copy.
Ooh. Okay, next question. This comes from Hamster Snake. I know this is going to be longer than I planned it to be. Do you think that if Jar Jar wasn't on Padme's ship in Episode 1 and slowed R2 down before he got on the lift to repair the ship, that the one laser blast would have destroyed him and ended up changing the entire fate of the galaxy? Keep up the great work, boys.
Destroying Jar Jar or R2?
If R2 was kept off the ship because of Jar Jar, would all the heroes have died?
I guess.
Well, yeah, because he's the last droid to fix the
That's
engines
true.
on the cruiser. So, if he dies, if he gets hit, then yeah, they either die or.
Well, wouldn't... Okay, so if that laser blast is always going to be shot at that point in time, if they're slightly behind, wouldn't maybe they still be missed because the timing's different? I don't know.
I don't know. There's a lot of there's a lot of intangibles in that. Scenario.
Yeah, there are a lot of variables in that.
Well, I'm just gonna go with yes.
Okay, this one comes again from Hamster Snake. I usually was going to read one per person, but this is funny. McNuggets, what sauce do you dip? I go barbecue.
I'm a honey mustard guy.
I'm a combination hot mustard, sweet, and sauce type guy.
Listen, I make my own Szechuan sauce at home, and then I
Here we
then I
go.
go get them. All right, that's how I go. Right, I Google the video, I go get the ingredients, I come back, I make it, then I go out, get nuggets, and come back. Okay.
Marky
them and I
Mark
enjoy them.
called from the set of Shooter. He said, "Cut that shit out. You're stealing my movie." Mark Wahlberg reference.
First of the night. Let's see. This comes from Cabin. Do you think they will allow Groot to grow back into an adult again?
Yeah.
Of course they will. They need him for the third movie,
Yeah.
where he'll be like twice as awesome, and he'll develop new powers that we don't know about yet, and save the day again probably.
Yeah. I say yes.
They'll need him for the final fight in Infinity War, where he's just mowing down dudes, saying, "I am Groot," aka Vin Diesel, aka Big Diesel Daddy Mac, aka Did you watch my third Riddick movie, aka No, you didn't.
Wait, there's a third Riddick movie?
Yes,
Yeah,
they're just called Riddick.
Oh, duh, because the Chronicles of Riddick's Part 2, right?
Yeah, and then Batista was in it.
I didn't see any of those. Not a single one. I think Marvel's milked Baby Groot enough to where like the merchandise isn't selling as well, so they're just going to make him an adult again
Dude,
because of story.
part two, like the fucking B story was Baby Groot. Honestly,
Yeah.
I mean that was basically all of Mike. Almost part two.
I got tired of Baby Groot.
When he
Yeah,
brought
it's
back
like-
that dude's thumb, though, I was like, ha. I mean, Baby
most
Groot's cute
genuine
and all, and I
reaction,
can
love
get
it.
why they do it, but, you know, I'm over it. It's
Yeah,
kinda like
I was
Iron Man,
over
I'm
the
still
first
over it.
movie. Yeah, I was over Groot in the first movie. Like, I understand, you know, he's cool, he's cute, you know, it's funny. And then in part two, they just really like hammered it home. It's like, I get it. He's a plant that can talk.
He is Groot.
all of those vegans out there immediately were just like that. I love Groot. It's like, calm down.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love Guardians of the Galaxy movies, but like it just like I was like, okay, it's good. I mean, I'm pretty sure I said this on the fuck when I talked about it for the channel. Like, make him grown again. I want to see him smash some dude's head and get covered in blood. I'm tired of this baby in a flight jacket bullshit. It was funny when he tried to bring Yondu his head flipper thing. That was funny, but I'm like, fucking kill someone, dude. I'm tired of you being cute. Murder someone for my entertainment group.
Yeah, that's what I want as well. Like just him murdering people. That'd be awesome.
I think they brought in enough people, or let me rephrase that. I think they brought in as many people as they can with the cute factor of Guardians of the Galaxy now, and it's time to just bring back some of its balls. You know, the first one had some darker moments, which I liked. I think I liked part 2 more, which also had some dark moments. Like when he's like, "I killed your mom." I was like,
"Dude,
what?
Oh my god!"
And then when
bodies of his brothers and sisters, the fucking skeletons, I was like, "God damn, what the fuck?"
That was. I can't say how much I enjoyed that movie enough. Like that, the second one was so much more enjoyable than the first one. You know, Dion, I was kind of like bleh with the first one, but
right.
One, way to go. Okay. This comes from Stussy Hayaku. Thoughts on Battlefront 2?
Yeah, you fucked up. Fucking bitches.
Haven't played it.
Yeah, haven't played it. Haven't played it at all.
None of us have played it.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny because if you look at EA stock prices, it dropped like, I don't know, a few dollars during that time of year, and now it's back up to normal. Now it's back up to like climbing higher and higher, like it is. So.
Yeah, well, that's because
nothing. Apparently,
have Madden and all that other shit. But as far as, I mean, EA, I just laughed because one, the publicity was hilarious. I loved all the people who didn't learn from the first Battlefront who went out and fucking bought Battlefront 2, especially with that dumbass Daisy what's-her-nuts on the goddamn, like she's gonna fucking fight Darth Maul. Fuck you. But like they didn't learn, so everyone was super pissed. And then the week goes on after it's been released, and then EA realizes that they have completely fucked everyone out of the whole microtransaction scam. So now people are finally catching on to microtransactions. Oh, it makes me laugh so. They're so rich as fuck, but God, that makes me laugh my ass off.
Dude, it was hilarious because I kept seeing photos of Black Friday. All the games are gone except for those on both consoles. I was like, shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. Y'all fucked up.
Yeah, I was a big Star Wars game fan, but my rule is single player because I don't really like Star Wars multiplayer experiences. I just want to play like if EA released like Rogue Squadron 4, I would reluctantly buy it right away because it's Rogue Squadron, and those I had so much fun with the first 2, and the third one was alright. But I don't like first-person shooters enough to want to play a Star Wars first-person shooter. And then I was on the beta for the first Battlefront, and that game just fucking blew, especially the controls for the ships. It was just so nuts.
Yeah, well, I mean, the ships are unbalanced entirely.
Back in the day, though, like, when you played Rogue Squadron, like, alright, the X-Wing is the most balanced ship. It's fast, it's agile, it's got good, adequate shielding. Oh, the A-Wing's super fast and maneuverable, but it gets shot down right away. Y-Wing's is, super strong. The workhorse, as they called it, but it sucks in speed. And they had the Falcon, which was fun to play as, but kind of sucked. So, like, it was cool to be different ships. Like, I would just, fly around the asteroid field in Rogue Squadron 2 and try not to die, and they would play the music, and it was fun. They just took the fun out of Star Wars. I think what we all want underneath it all is just to relive Star Wars, the movies, in, like, video game form, then, like, accentuate those, or expand upon those things. Like, hey, Luke's on Dagobah, and he's fighting more shit. Or, hey, blah-blah-blah, like they did in the Super Nintendo games. Those were fun.
Oh, well, my other thing, too, is, like, what they learned the hard way is the Star Wars fans, second only to wrestling fans, when you fuck them over the first time, they remember that shit. So, for me getting fucked over was spending money on Battlefront 1, the first Battlefront. And obviously, because I was, like, kind of hoping it'd be the heir apparent, it'd be the unofficial Battlefront 3. There's no, I got fucked. So I'm like, I'm not buying another goddamn Star Wars game. And I'm gonna anyone that asks me, I'm gonna convince them not to fucking buy the thing. Then they released the goddamn trailer, and again, it made me happy to see all those comments. And then they released the goddamn game, and it fucks up so bad. When they released fucking Call of Duty World War II, no one is fucking pre-ordering the DLC. No one's buying goddamn coins because of how bad fucking EA fucked over everybody over with Battlefront 2. No, people, we remember this shit. When you fuck us over really bad, really bad, we might still fuck you every once in a while, but we ain't gonna forget that shit. Like a shitty relationship. I will resent you.
All right, this next question comes from Chris. How many times will you go see Episode 9 to get the full Star Wars experience? All in caps. 1, because I only see 95% of movies once.
Yeah. And that's only because of the channel that we're going to go see it, basically. If we didn't have to go see it, we wouldn't go see it.
Yeah. Once, because Jeff says I have to.
Goddamn right. No, I mean, the only movie that I've seen as an adult in theaters multiple times was The Avengers. I saw it 4 times, and that was weird. That was like one of those event movies. It's like, oh, you haven't seen The Avengers? Let's go see it. So, like, I saw it with Joel the first night it came out, and then, like, a week later, I was like, Dan, and then Joel went with us, and then our friend Deshaun went, and we all went and saw it again. And then I think I went and saw it alone one day because I was bored, and then I went one more time with Dan because we dropped that Deshaun guy off to buy his new car. So it was like, you know, it was the biggest movie of the fucking year. But once is normal. Like I think I saw Quantum of Solace in theaters twice because I fell asleep the first time. But I saw The Incredible Hulk in theaters twice because I did fall asleep. I had started a new job. It wore me out. I fell asleep in the beginning, and then I missed 90% of the movie, so I went back that Sunday because I had to see it. I stand by that movie being good. Okay, this one comes from Apero Didaro, or Didaro, I don't know if it's supposed to rhyme. What plot points and character traits will need to be in the Solo movie for you guys to actually enjoy it? If, by chance, it turns out to be a good movie, do you think it will sell well after The Last Jedi fiasco? What do you guys think?
No, it's going to be shit. It's just going to be shit.
I think it'll
Han
sell
Solo-
decently
Han
because
Solo
it says Star Wars on it.
Well, even then, I don't think that's going to save it. Even with Star Wars on it, I think they've completely bastardized what the characters were. I mean, for me, fucking Han Solo needs to be a wisecracking, direct, fucking this guy who's not questioning himself,
Scoundrel.
fucking smuggler asshole who, however the hell he gets out of the academy, meets this other cool motherfucker who isn't going to be Donald Glover because he's not that cool to be Lando Calrissian. But anyway, Lando
You don't
Calrissian.
love Atlanta?
Oh, god damn it. Fuck it. Fuck that show. Fuck him. But Lando is equally as fucking cool, less decisive, but still a suave goddamn dude who'll shoot someone in the fucking face, and they show them getting the goddamn Millennium Falcon, and he finally blossoms into this totally cool badass because he's got his ship, and he can go out in the galaxy and do his fucking thing. It would have to be like Lethal Weapon in space for me. That's the only fucking way to do it. To make me like...
Yeah, and I mean the two directors they had, I think that would have done that. They would have made it fun at least. But
Yeah,
you know,
because Ron Howard's a stodgy
Oh,
old
he's
asshole.
gonna
at this
fuck it
point.
up. He's gonna fuck it up.
no, you're right. He is. He does biopics and he does real life things, and he's good at that. That's fine. That's your shtick. That's whatever.
Go make a movie with Tom Hanks and fuck off. Like
Yeah,
whatever,
really.
dude.
Yeah, really. But yeah, and I'm sure they wanted a serious role and they wanted to really fucking neuter Han Solo because that's Captain Kennedy's thing. So it's gonna be shit.
See him as a person.
God,
No,
I want
we want to see him as a badass like cowboy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
honestly,
we want to see him be the badder ass version of Captain Kirk.
there you go. What
Fucking
have
chicks flying in space.
what I would have loved is if the beginning of Solo would be the beginning of Spaceballs with
Bill Pullman.
Bill Pullman and John Candy. I want that. I want that beginning. As soon as you see those characters in that movie, I want that beginning for Solo. That's what I want.
Puke, whatever.
Yeah. They get called up by Jabba the Hutt or somebody else, and I want that beginning. Even if they copy that entirely, I'd be okay with that. That's fine. But that's not gonna. We're not,
Space bucks. Unfair to the payor, but fair to the payee.
yeah, exactly. I would fucking love that shit. I'd be like, this is a good callback. Good for you. This is awesome. But we're not getting that, so fuck it.
No, we're not. We're just gonna get. I guarantee you, it's intentionally gonna be made to suck. So it's like, hey, men in action roles don't sell anymore. It's all about women in action roles. And then when Ocean's 8 comes out and no one sees this movie, oh, sexism! It's like, you I don't even know what to call you people anymore. Idiots.
Yeah, that's all it is. Just idiots.
Idiot jerk-offs. I can't stand those people. Anyway, will it sell well after The Last Jedi? This movie's going to make significantly less. And remember, The Last Jedi, $750 million down from the Force Awakens. But that's okay, according to Forbes. Fucking idiots. Any other business posts a $750 million difference. Oh, what a bad year it is for Microsoft or Sony. No, fuck you, Forbes, and your bullshit articles. I'll get into that later in the week. But no, it's not. There's nothing that they can do to make me excited, because one thing that was always nice about the original Star Wars characters is that their outcomes were endless. You never knew when Luke or Han or Leia died. It was just like, well, the end of Return of the Jedi happened, and then there were other threats down the line, and they felt like real people that just always had stories to tell. Now that I know how Han Solo dies and that his character just, it's even hard for me to watch the original film because you know what happens to him down the road. So, for me, as a fan of Han Solo, is my favorite Star Wars character, I'm not interested. Plus, I think the guy that they got to play him, if it's true and he's a shit actor, it was all just a bad idea from the beginning. You know, it could have been a Boba Fett movie where it's literally Boba Fett doing anything throughout the galaxy during the Empire times. Maybe Vader appears, maybe Vader doesn't appear. Hell, maybe they tell the story about the time where Vader and Boba Fett fought on the side of that mountain. You know, do something like that. Leave Han Solo alone. You already fucked him over once. What's the point now? You're just going to make him less merchandise friendly in the future. It's like this is the death of Star Wars, and it's intentional, too. It's like, hey, we can't sell these figures for $1. Let's try 50 cents. Like, the fuck? I don't get these people's choices. Okay, this one comes from Nikola Mitrovic. Do you think we'll ever get an Old Republic trilogy, or is it too dark for Disney? I don't think we'll ever get one.
No,
not
never going to happen.
No.
Sure.
Yeah, it is. I do agree it is too dark for Disney, but they're not going to invest the money into that at all. It's part of Legends and not canon and all that other bullshit, so it's not going to fucking happen.
Yeah, I mean, I would actually go see it because I'm actually interested if they would do the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie with Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
Like, bring the best part of the prequels back. That dude was fucking... Well, he's a great actor no matter what. But him as Obi-Wan never sucked. Even when he fucked up the line killing younglings, it was like... I still believe in you, Ewan.
And plus, he's older now, so he would look the part. So it'd be fun.
Yeah, I think he's actually aged incredibly well since 2005.
So all that train spotting he did.
All the trains.
Don't they put heroin in that movie?
I think they do.
Lots of it.
I'm sorry, I'm not up on the drug culture of Europe.
Well, I'm not either. I've seen the movie.
Anarchy in the UK.
Here's a quick one from G-Man. Have you ever seen Peaky Blinders?
No, but I'd like to. I heard it's
I don't even
really
know
good.
what it is.
What
It's
is
a
it?
Netflix show. Apparently, it's pretty damn good.
Yeah, I'm not 100% positive, but it's got something to do with like a gang of British hoodlums in, I think, Victorian in London, but I'm not positive. I just know it's got something to do with British hoodlums and like
Scarecrow's
old
the
times. Yeah,
Scarecrow's the
boss.
the cop.
Oh,
Yeah,
from Cillian
Scott.
Murphy?
Yep.
Yeah,
Huh. Maybe
I've
I'll
heard
check it out.
good things, but I've never watched it.
Well,
But I'd
after
like to.
watching Batman, I was pretty much sold on anything that dude would do.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this comes from Chris Manilow. What are some other reviews or pop culture content creators that aren't sucking the dick of Disney 100% of the time? None that I can think of, because
Yeah,
even Red Letter
it's hard.
Media, the counterculture poster child, did that for The Force Awakens, and now they're trying to...
Backpedal.
I didn't even watch the review of The Last Jedi. I just watched the beginning. I'm like, nope, I'm tired of listening to Jay go on about, oh, you can't have a criticism of this movie because you're an asshole. It's like, fuck off. That's what you're famous for.
Dude,
Your stupid fucking criticisms of the prequels.
Dude, I watched a few minutes of Kevin Smith do his review, which was about as long as the movie, which is fucking terrifying. But it just was just him, like, he's like, yeah, I'm a fanboy, I loved it, you know, this, that, and the other. It's like, and then he's like, I watched the movie High, and I was like, of course you fucking did.
And you also made Tusk, you fat piece of shit. Fuck you, Kevin Smith.
He's more of a shill than anybody, I think, because he's like, I'm making shit movies now. I have to suck somebody's dick so I can get some money. Come on, Disney, you got money.
He's like a real life mundane Matt. Like,
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, mundane cuck.
can't
Oh
stand
my
the
God.
fucking guy.
It's just annoying because he loves everything sci-fi. He's like, oh, Star Trek was good, Star Wars is good, this is good, I swear. It's like, no, your opinion's worth shit because you like everything.
I don't trust Kevin Smith's opinion on anything. Because when there's money to be made, you can't trust anyone's opinions for being honest.
Yeah, and
He should
it's
never have left the View Askew universe.
Yeah.
It's where he was best.
no man. He could have been on Jan Silent Bob, fucking take over Hollywood, part 8 or whatever.
Instead of doing goddamn comic book man all the god. Fuck that show.
Yeah, fuck those guys, too. I met them. I've told multiple
God.
times on this channel. Those guys are dickheads in real life, and I can't believe their show's still on TV.
Tell him, Steve Dave.
Is it really
Shut the
still
fuck
on?
up, fanboy.
Is it really still on TV?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Dude, it's AMC. They got The Walking Dead.
No,
and
you're
that.
right. I don't know why I asked the question. That was dumb.
I'm waiting for AMC to give us a deal for a TV show.
We'll do it.
Well,
I mean, of course we're going to do it, but...
well, I mean, they own Shark.
What the fuck?
Whoa.
What is happening?
Kendo. It's Kendo. Make it stop.
Was that intentional?
No, I learned a lesson. I forgot all about it. I did it to the guys on the Fancast the other night. This couch I got, the new one I got, the microfiber, when I'm sitting on it, if I get up and I have my headphones on, I got with static electricity really bad in the house with the furnace going, I end up electrocuting my ears and totally feedbacking the shit out of people. And I went to adjust myself on the couch, and I guess I grounded myself.
I guess you
Is
did.
there a way we can use this
Now my
against
ears
Phil?
hurt really bad.
You deserve that.
I do. It was my
Oh,
mistake. I was just I gotta adjust myself.
You might have to
I
cut
stood
that
up
out,
and-
Jeff, or at least lessen the volume or something.
All of a sudden, we're like, comic book man. "Arr!"
Yeah, I was slipping down in the couch. I was like, oh, I gotta adjust myself without thinking of taking my headphones off. First, I stood up, and all of a sudden, it was just I feel this pop in my ears. I'm like, ah, ouch, fuck. And then I'm like, oh shit, those guys just got their ears blown out.
I thought you were in like a woofer or something. I was like, damn, dude. Like, where'd you go?
I'd rather be in a woofer.
I want to.
Yeah, I thought you fell and your computer crashed and freaked out or something.
Oh, static shit.
It was Mooney.
Yeah. Because with the furnace on, it dries everything out. And like I said, the microfiber couch and everything, and electronics on my head.
What you witnessed, folks, was the almost demise of Kendo Slice. So for
He
the
almost
one
just
fan
died
out there
right
that
then.
doesn't like him, it's like, hey, he almost died.
It wasn't drugs. It wasn't booze. It wasn't
It was a
women,
microfiber couch.
Microfiber couch and static electricity.
God damn you, Martha Stewart, you bitch.
A decent set of headphones that just decided to zap my ears really bad. I've been static
Because
shocked
fuck
before,
you,
but these
that's
things
why.
are super shocking. It actually hurts. Whereas you walk up, and you touch a doorknob, and it's like a little click, and you're like, ah. Well, this it's just like ah, fuck, ow,
Your use of adjectives telling you spot on.
All right, let's keep this train rolling because we have many more questions to go.
All right.
Do you think Darth Vader, a Star Wars story, is a good idea? That comes
No.
from Charlie Drano.
No, because we have that.
Yeah, it's called the prequel trilogy.
Yeah,
my
that's
friend.
what
Yeah,
the
what
prequels
the
were.
fuck?
It was just his story.
yeah.
Well, this next question we've already answered. Super Cinta Stick. I don't know. They got a picture of Satan from that Tom Cruise movie. Please tell me your thoughts on the Obi-Wan standalone film. I feel like we just did indirectly, so...
Yeah.
He wanted us to rip in a new butthole. If Kathleen Kennedy dies before it comes out, it could be amazing.
Oh,
Yeah.
So,
But
right
if it's like
cast-
him on... Go ahead.
I was gonna say, with the right casting choice, Ewan McGregor, and good writing and a nice director, and not having the she-devil, well, that's a bad word, the she-bitch, hovering over. I don't want to be disingenuous to the Dark Prince, comparing him to Kathleen Kennedy. That's unfair. If she's not the one pulling the strings, saying you gotta make Obi-Wan have a girl that tells him how to do things and totally henpecks him, because she will. Without
I bet
that,
he's a fucking hermit on a desert planet. There
She
should
would
be no one
find a way.
talking to him.
the reason why he's a hermit is because he was so in love with his wife, and then she died heroically saving him, and now he can't go on without her because no man can handle not being without a woman that's powerful or something. That's the
I'd
message.
be like, did you not watch anything?
We just have him like banging sand people the whole time. We just have that. That's all we need. That's all we need. Him drunkenly banging sand people like the whole time.
And then the newspaper comes out, the Tatooine Gazette, Obi-Wan Kenobi is accused of different allegations by the sand people. It'd be like real life.
He went on the reservation and just like got real drunk and just like fucked them all.
Indians now.
I'll be back in greater numbers, bitch.
He's just like drunk the whole time and does this like fucking. That's all it is.
I'm down for that.
He does his Nick Nolte impression the whole time.
He's
like, I got. That's all.
Folks, if you'd like to see our take on an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, join our Patreon.
He only uses the lightsaber to shave, that's it. Or to like make coffee or something.
It's not a sex toy?
Well, sometimes it is.
That'd be awesome to see him making coffee. He's got like everything there, and he just like holds the lightsaber up. He has to measure out to make sure he doesn't like punch through the bottom of like a percolator. And he's like hold it up and like you see the water start instantly boiling, and he turns it off, and then like puts the grounds in and like, stirs it up and everything. It's like instant coffee because that's
Mr.
all he
Tatooine.
can. Yeah, Mr. Tatooine.
Okay, this one comes from Lil Chibik. What are your thoughts on the H&M sweater controversy? It's fucking ridiculous. Keep up the good work.
I want sweaters, goddammit. You find me a link to that goddamn sweater, I will buy it and wear it.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Hilarious.
we think it's hilarious because it's asinine that people are getting that uproar over it.
Okay, this comes from Mart601345. Tell us what you think about the direction Doctor Who is going.
I haven't
think
really
it's
kept up
dumb.
on it since partway into season 9. I think it was Capaldi's second whole season for Peter Capaldi, I believe. And it wasn't as good as it had been.
Yeah, I gave up watching religiously after David Tennant left. Or no, I watched all the Matt Smith stuff. I can't say that. I just think everyone's so like enjoying the smell of their own farts with this whole, hey, we got a female doctor. But that's not a good thing. And I'm not saying that, there shouldn't be women in sci-fi shows and shit like that. But if your show is a show that's really targeted towards young boys and you want to sell merchandise and toys and shit, why would you burn that to, like, push an agenda? I mean, after all, you are in a business. Like, what's the point of, like, forcing that on little boys that aren't going to want to fucking buy your what's-her-face action figure as the Doctor? Like, that thing's going to fucking just sit on shelves like Jar Jar Binks toys.
Yeah, well, I mean, the important thing is that, if when they did do this, if they actually concentrate more on the stories and the stories are good and they're entertaining, people like it, then you're fine. Nobody's going to really care that she's a woman. But if you just did it for an agenda and now everything's going to suck because it's like, damn it, she's a woman, we can't do this, that, and the other, but we can do these other things and they're lame, then you're fucked. You've really fucked yourself.
What they're going to do is they're going to write her just like David Tennant, and then you're going to get these really opinionated, like, pieces of shit on the internet. Oh, blah, 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 better than David Tennant. It's like, it's the same fucking gimmick as David Tennant. Like,
yeah.
What makes it better?
Hopefully they dressed her the same to see if anybody notices. Did I hear wear this? Didn't David Tennant wear this? Yeah, it's a social experiment.
She'll just be like one of those ladies from the Great British Bake Off, kind of gay but not gay. Was that Hillary?
Yep.
So.
Okay. Here's a good one. If Johnny has 2 apples and 5 oranges, and Martha has a red and blue sweater, what prime number would correspond to the mass of the sun?
42. What is 42?
Lawrence Fishburne.
What is 40? Yeah, what is 42 squared?
What
I'll
is
go with
Lawrence
Fishburne?
Fishburne's daughter?
Yeah, Montana Fishburne.
What
I saw
is
that.
a whore?
Yeah. You mean a whore?
What is a whore?
Your mother's a whore. Your mother's dead. She's deader than disco. It was a botched neck lift. Anyone out there that knows what I'm talking about, post in the comments of this video, and I will shout you out on any episode that you want to be talked about. Okay. This comes from Jeremy Burgess, our good friend who we always mention in the Patreon. Even though I don't drink, I'd really like to know what's the worst alcoholic beverage or brand you've ever tasted. And then additionally, on a scale of 1 to 10, just how good does Budweiser beer actually taste? Does Coors taste the same, better, or worse?
Well,
I can answer some of these. Coors is yeastier.
yeah, I actually like Coors.
Budweiser
better than
tastes like
Budweiser.
shit.
And I'm from St. Louis, so I'm an authority on Budweiser to an extent because that's what we grow up on. Budweiser's
Yeah, there's no bottles,
maybe-
just Budweiser.
Budweiser's like maybe a 3.5, a 4. It depends. I can't. I used to drink Bud products because that's all you could get, or at least that's all I was able to get for the little bit of pittance of money I had back then. Now I can afford good beer, so I buy good beer, and I will only resort to Budweiser if I absolutely have to. I like.
Well, Dion and
I
I
like-
refer to Budweiser as Bud Diesel.
Yeah, it's Bud Diesel. Drink some Bud Diesel, play some beer pong, get some fucking shit wrecked, bruh.
We need to go visit Jake.
Yes.
I'm just putting that out there.
Oh,
Yes. Get some Bud
And-
Diesels.
And the worst beer I've ever had, we have this chain liquor store in the area called Dirt Cheap.
Oh my god!
Please tell me the pictures
I
of
love
a
that that's
woman.
a chain. It's not just one place. It's a chain.
Yeah, there's like 8 or 9 of them. It's called Dirt Cheap. They have like the San Diego. They have like a chicken is their mascot, like the San Diego chicken. And
What?
he's always on the commercials going cheap, cheap, fun, fun. And they're always like, it's a lot of fun at Dirt Cheap, blah blah blah. And they used to have this one guy named Fred Teutenberg who was like a local treasure. I've met the guy before. He signed something I had at a meet and greet type thing. And he was like the spokesman, and he was always like, the more she drinks, the better you'll look, and things like that. And that created an uproar, and it's like, that's not what he meant by that. He's talking about beer goggles, not rapey. And but he's been dead for a couple of years. So they have their own house brand of beer called Dirt Cheap Beer. And it's, I think, like $1. It was $1.79 a 6-pack 15 years ago when I was in college up in Michigan. And I told my roommates about it. I was like, dude, all right, so I'm going to bring this back, and what we're going to do is we're going to try to see if we can get through a case of it. And so I spent $5 on a case of this beer, and no, we made it through about 4 or 5 cans before we called it a day. We're like, we can't. This is too bad. Plus, we were taking turns chugging bottles of Brass Monkey.
Dion, could you
Look at
imagine
that.
us having access to $5 beer?
Oh my god,
I
we would be.
I will bring some to Cincinnati this weekend if you'd like.
Yes!
Dude,
Yes!
no. There was no like when
I'll see if
when
they
I
still
would.
have it.
Oh man, when I used to live in Tennessee, there was one beer that was fucking. It was Big Flats from Walgreens.
Oh, I've had that.
Oh my
Yeah, I know
god,
what that is.
cheap as fuck. I think it was like $3 for a 6-pack or something, or $4 for a 6-pack. Oh my god, it was fucking cheap, and you had to have it ice cold and drink it ice cold. If it got a little bit above freezing, it immediately tasted like shit. It was fucking horrible.
Taste the inside of your mouth.
Yeah, basically,
Yeah.
it's just like But now I can afford now I can afford good beer, so it doesn't matter. And whiskey, mainly whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
I like this question. It's actually kind of fun. It's refreshing. We don't talk about Star Wars for a minute.
Yeah, we can actually talk about adult beverages and how there's really good ones out there that you can buy that aren't national brands.
Well, yeah, Dilly can suck my ass.
Bud Light is fucking terrible.
I recently had a Bud Light, and I just put it down. Like, I took a couple sips. I'm like, ew, no.
Just
Yeah,
walk
I
away
don't.
from
I don't
it
like.
a
I don't like those.
disappointed
I
son.
don't like the Millers, the Buds, or the Coors. Like to me, they all taste the same. It's just like yeasty fucking cold water. Like they all taste like shit to me.
Yeah.
You know.
Dude, to me, I can't get through PBR, and I'm not trying to be funny.
Ooh, I like PBR,
I was somewhere.
Dude,
Dion, was I with you where we were drinking PBR and I just stopped drinking?
When I bought some PBR, yep, you were with me.
Yeah, I just was like, no, thank you. It was the worst. Like, I don't know. I just had to stop, and that's rare for me to just stop drinking. Like normally I'm having a
Yeah.
great time, not that time.
I
I
don't
like
blame you.
Jeff,
Actually,
Jeff,
PBR's
just-
up there with
just-
Miller for me in terms of shitty beer. I'll buy that just to have quantity over quality for sure.
yeah,
It's a decent shitty beer for me though. Like I'm not gonna go out and say PBR is one of the best things you could ever put in your mouth. It's not. But of like the cheap beers you can get, I would say it's like PBR and Rolling Rock. Although I like Rolling Rock better than PBR.
Yeah, Rolling Rock's fine.
And then there's
Yep.
a beer that we have around here. I don't know if you guys get it. It's called Stag. I like Stag.
Oh yeah.
Steak, taters,
Yep.
and gravy, baby. Stag.
oh my god. Jeff, you just offended all 5 of the hipsters who listen to this podcast now because
if we have a
PBR.
if we have a hipster congregation on this show, goodbye.
Because they fucking live and die for PBR, like they fucking love that shit.
So do the Japanese, but
That's weird.
I don't hear them listening to our show. So, what's the worst alcohol I've ever had? I just said PBR, but that's not the worst alcohol. Midori. Oh,
Midori?
God, Midori. Oh,
Midori?
Hillary made me a Midori drink once. I had to I think I took a sip and then
Midori's like
hit it and
melon
threw it away.
liqueur or whatever. Yeah.
I hate Midori. It makes me want to retch just thinking. I don't know.
Yeah,
She was
I've
so
had
proud
some-
of those martinis too, man. God damn. I was just like, I love you.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one that couldn't handle it. I was just like, whoa.
Yeah, I've had some like bottom shelf $5 bottles of scotch before. Well, not bottles, just one.
Oh.
That we got when I first turned 21. I didn't know what good scotch was, so I was just like, oh, scotch is good. I'm gonna buy this. It literally tastes like fucking drinking gasoline. It was not pleasant.
No, not as bad as
octane.
Pop Off vodka.
Oh,
God.
Ew.
fuck! I know.
Well,
I
you're
know
supposed
that
to
brand.
mix
I
that
know.
stuff anyway.
That
That's
tastes
like,
like drinking
if I-
nail
if-
polish remover.
Dude, if I ever got that stuff, I'd be like, all right, how many fucking water filters do I have that I can make this slightly better with? Like, can I salvage that? I'll go through 1 or 2 and be like, all right, this is somewhat better.
You just
I remember
turned into
drinking
Dan
that in
Aykroyd vodka.
college. Just randomly taking a shot from someone that taught me my lesson. I felt like my insides were fucking burning. Like, I can't. Do I have syphilis? Why am I burning so bad?
I've
Let's
been
pop
with you
off.
when we drank some really bargain basement shit, Dion.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know these guys back in the college days when I'm like, hey, man, let's drink. I got $20 and I need to eat. What can we get? Well, I got this, and we would drink whatever you...
Yep.
What was it El Toro Loco?
Yeah.
Oh,
God.
Shitty
fuck.
tequila?
That fucking
Oh my
tequila
god.
with the
It's
sombrero
like, hey, I'm glad we now drink,
on the goddamn
Patron.
fucking.
Oh, that one?
right.
Oh my god. No, I know. There's like Scorpion or something like that that has like the extra scorpion at the bottom of it, which is just terrifying.
Didn't they drink that in Skyfall?
They may
Yeah.
have.
Well, no, that was he just had the scorpion on his hand, and then.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I try to forget about Daniel Craig James Bond movies, being a thing. Hey, Christoph Waltz quit, so hey.
Damn.
That makes me sad.
That
Probably
does.
pull some
Yeah.
SJW shit in the next movie. But that is not what we're here to talk about. Sorry. So, Shadow Knight 506 Games and More says, would you eat a Big Mac covered in 3 weeks worth of garbage for $200,000?
Yes.
Yes.
No. No.
You don't
he
have to
doesn't-
eat the garbage.
Yeah, and
Just
you
have
don't
the
know
Big
what
Mac.
kind of garbage it is. It could just all be dry. You might get
Yeah,
lucky.
well, shit's also garbage as well. So
It gets flushed.
okay.
It depends. You might get lucky, and it's decent garbage. Maybe it's just like all paper goods. Dried up paper towels and paper plates. Maybe there was like a party there that week.
And it's just like cake residue.
Yes, can't
It's like icing and shit.
Yeah,
Dude,
wash
it's
that
not
down
willing
with
to
some
take
pop
for
off to kill all the
200
fucking
grand.
germs.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
You
I
take
mean,
your $200,000 check, you go to the bank, you put it in the bank. They make like $5,000 available for you on the spot or whatever it is, and then you can go and buy yourself some pop off and just get some Everclear if you really want to kill the
Or
germs.
just,
have-
or take that $5,000 and go to the doctors and just get a full body scan. Like, am I cool? Am I right?
or
Will I be fine?
just go to the hospital and get your stomach pumped.
You have AIDS.
Damn it, not
I got
again.
syphilis, dog.
Also,
At least you're going to be rich until you die. You'll get fit and rich. You'll be
Oh,
like that
you-
guy in Texas, Dion.
Oh god.
You can't get AIDS from eating a Big Mac covered in trash.
If there's a syringe in the Big Mac.
Well, you'd have to like literally bite into the syringe and have it go through your. No, we're not getting into this.
Yeah, I would check this shit out before I'm like, hey, I'm going to eat this garbage covered Big Mac. Like, I would ask the questions, guys.
Yeah.
I would ask the questions.
The devil's in the details. Devil's in the
Yeah,
details.
I'll inspect it. Now, has the Big Mac been sitting there for 3 weeks?
It doesn't say. It just says a Big Mac covered in 3 weeks.
Because they could just take the Big Mac and they could say, here's garbage that's been sitting around for 3 weeks, dump, and then it's like beat the clock, get it as fast as you can from underneath the garbage. So then it's like the 5-second rule type thing. I don't know. It's doable.
Yeah, it is.
$200,000 is a lot of money.
This channel would be, after I, go to the hospital, get checked out, go on a vacation, buy a car, this channel would really grow. Let's see. This comes from Asim Caesar. Why do you think Transformers toys and merchandise sell despite the movies? Because they're cool?
Wait, don't they have like the cartoons and stuff that are still on for kids?
Yeah. And the adults still collect because Hasbro in that department hasn't really cut as many corners. Like, if I look at a Han Solo figure from 2004 that was $9.99 and super detailed and came with like movable heads and this and that and wrists and ankle joints. But I look at a Han Solo nowadays that barely functions. You know, look at the difference. There are Transformer toys that I think look kind of cool and that I've considered buying, and I've never liked Transformers. So that's my answer. What do you guys say?
No, I agree. They still look cool as shit, and they're not drastically changing them from each generation. They might add a new one, but they don't. Even like when they go over the movie, they're still colorful. They're not. They don't look like goddamn knockoff, shitty versions with Daisy Ridley on top of them. They just still legit looking.
Yeah, and I mean, who doesn't want a Transformer like a fucking Ferrari that turns into a robot with a bazooka? Who the fuck doesn't want that? You know?
Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
Well, you know, she probably shoves them up her butt, but who knows?
Plus,
I'd watch that movie. Just saying.
Plus, it seems like Transformer toys are being made for kids to buy and play with, as well as adults to collect. Where it seems like Star Wars toys now is cheaply made as they are, with like no articulation for the most part, are being sold just for collection purposes. They're like, we don't expect people to buy these to play with.
Don't open them up, guys. The wings of your X-wing will fall right off.
The loser value.
Yeah, I don't. You know what? Toy collecting is hit and miss anyway. Okay,
So
this comes from Wyatt Powers. What's your favorite movie? By the way, love the channel.
Oh man,
mine's Back to the Future, hands down. Not even a fucking debate.
Oh fuck! Favorite movie? I think it's real close between Beverly Hills Cop and RoboCop.
Not Troy with Brad Pitt.
I fucking love that. Did you know he broke his ankle in one scene and he finished the movie? I fucking love Bradgelina.
I actually saw that movie today for the first time.
It's not that bad. It's just long as fuck.
yeah.
I went and cleaned my office, so that's how interested I was in the fucking movie. Cleaning.
Jeez, it was
one of those-
background
The
noise.
Troy alternative.
Troy was background noise for you, is what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of those movies that once is enough to see it. You're like, you see it once, you're like, oh, okay, and that's it.
Let's
It's
see.
a good one.
I don't know.
Mine's got to be Goonies. I love that movie too much. I can watch. I can watch it like Jeff watches Beverly Hills Cop every day, all the time. Like it's just.
I could watch
what I
the
feel like.
Goonies every day, all the time too. I feel like that's our spirit animal film.
Yeah, it's just like I love it too much. Like I actually went out. I think before we did the commentary, I actually bought it on Blu-ray. I was just like, I need this. I need this in my life right now because I only had the DVD or the VHS copy. I was like, it needs Blu-ray. It deserves this transfer. So I adamantly went out and got it.
I feel like, Nick, if you and I were trapped in a snow blizzard, and since we're not those weird friends that like rub dicks, we would just sit around and watch Goonies all day.
Yeah, that'd be it.
That's it. What are you guys doing? Watching Goonies again? We're trying to figure out where the octopus scene would be.
Eh,
And if you don't know what that means, fuck you. You need to go watch Goonies and watch special features and all that other stuff because that's a wonderful deleted scene.
Embrace the movies, guys. They're fun.
Yeah.
That's why we bitch about entertainment, because entertainment can be the greatest thing ever, but they choose to make it bad, which pisses me off.
Yeah, they choose to go for the money grab as opposed for the staying power or the rewatchability of anything. They just want that quick money grab, and they don't give a fuck. They don't want you to like fawn over it and be like, oh, this movie's great. I'm gonna buy it on every format. No, they don't care.
It's the Chaim Saban treatment, you know.
Yeah,
He just pimped out Power Rangers till it lost all value.
yeah.
I don't know what my favorite movie would be. I really don't. I don't really have a favorite. Oh, this has got to be it no matter what. I've got several that are up there, but just because I want to be different, I'm just going to take Slapshot.
All right.
Or Hot Tub Time Machine. I like that one.
I love Hot Tub Time Machine, and I didn't want to see it either.
I was driving up the highway today, and I don't remember what made me think about it, but then I was just like, I really want to go home and watch Hot Tub Time Machine.
You were thinking about Chevy Chase.
Oh
as
no, I remember
frequently
what it
do.
was. It was like I opened up Facebook for the first time today, and it gave me my like memory thing from like that I'd posted, and I'd posted something. It was like either a year ago or 2 years ago. It's my status. It said something like, "I envision one day I will be John Cusack from Hot Tub Time Machine, and my nephew will be, his nephew in that movie, theatrically speaking, of course."
Bullshit! You're gonna be Rob Corddry.
Probably, but just
Google.
Just in the fucking Motley Crue in the garage.
Oh my god.
I'm not a big fan of the Crew. If you were like, yeah, he's sitting around in his garage listening to like fucking Slayer or something like that. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Like, hey, he's passed out in his car with like fucking metal music on. Be like, yeah, I could see that. I could do that.
That'll be the future. You'll just be passed out in a hot tub, and models will be trying to wake you up, and you're just like, "Bitch, go away!" And then you puke.
And I throw a Master of Puppets at him, like, "Turn it on, bitch!"
Okay, this comes from C.J. Peterson. What's one thing you like from the Star Wars prequels? Well, C.J., I like many things from the Star Wars prequels, but I'll just say the lightsaber duel from Episode 1 is my favorite.
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor.
Yep.
I have to say lightsaber duel between Obi-Wan and Anakin.
That's a good one, too.
It is a good one. Okay, this comes from Ministry of Wrongthink. Do you know the way?
I know something that's played out and being run into the ground.
I don't even get that meme. Like, I'm not trying to no-sell this guy. I literally don't get the joke.
He does not know the way. He's a non-believer.
It's something to do with like Knuckles or something like that, and some game thing that came out with. It's one of those, because you know how like it used to be like where jokes and things would like last for, they're 15 minutes or whatever it is. Nowadays, like memes are like run into the ground within like a week.
A day, if you ask me.
Yeah, like they get played out really fast. And so this thing came out, and I guess what they did was they took like voices from like these Congolese soldiers from this documentary, and that's where it came from, because I saw something about it on Know Your Meme. And the thing is, like, everyone's screaming about how it's racist and this and that and the other thing, but the only people that are calling it racist are like white people, because the guy that made the movie is Congolese, and he thinks it's great that this character, the voices from his movie are being used in this character because it could bring awareness and like people to see his movie. And he's like, I don't see anything racist.
Isn't that really bad movie with the shitty helicopter scene?
Are you thinking of Black Hawk Down?
No.
I was gonna say those were Somalis. Not all Africans are the same, Jeff.
Captain Phillips.
Yeah, no, that's something totally different. They were also Somalis.
I am the captain now. I'm the
listeners out there. There's an African movie that's so poorly made, like it's got bad CGI. If you know what it is, tell me what it is in the comments section. Okay, let's see. This comes from Grim Falcon. Do you consider the end of Star Wars Return of the Jedi, or that Legends is still canon, meaning all of Disney bullshit is fan fiction and non-canon? Yeah, Return of the Jedi is it for me. I have no interest in anything after that.
Yeah, and based on the fact that apparently they're stealing fan fiction, I think we got our answer right there.
I go with the expanded universe, the original ones, not this bullshit that Disney's going on, because a lot of that was actually really good. Every once in a while you get a shit turd, but a lot of it was good.
Yeah, Jedi is it for me. I never wanted to get further into it, because I know if I did, I would become that guy and be in my parents' basement just reading books forever and like fucking painting little models and shit. Like that's what would happen.
I was that guy and I got a fucking job, so fuck you.
Yeah,
and a wife.
My ending is Return of the Jedi, the first special edition.
Dion, I love you.
I love you, man.
That's my.
I'll tell you. I'll answer one extra thing.
And note Hayden Christensen.
I agree with that. I'd like to read a lot of the Star Wars stuff that was created between the original and Empire. Like, that's the stuff that interests me. Like, what were they doing between, Yavin and Hoth? And that's fun.
Running for their lives.
But nothing else. Okay, next question. Would you... I already answered this one. Would you eat Kathleen Kennedy's ass for $1,000? I think two of us said yes and two of us said no.
Yeah. Upon further review, I'd have to be really intoxicated.
Or give me more than 1,000. Say that.
Yeah, we're that.
Yeah. She's running Disney. She can come up a little bit more. Like, come the fuck on. Like,
nope, you gotta do it silver. Be like, all right, I want to see some more zeros.
Yeah, give me
behind the
one,
one, not in front of it.
It's like, Kendo, you're eating it for a penny now. Fuck.
I know. Like, oh, no, decimal to the right, not the left.
You really screwed the pooch on this one, Kendo.
Yeah,
good job.
Guys, I fucked up. I fucked up real bad. Where's that dirt cheap brand beer?
Yeah, you can drown it out with your gasoline brandy. Okay, this comes from Leo Van Horn. What's your guys' take on the Indiana Jones? He wrote Indiana Jones, but I think he meant Indiana Jones movie.
Well, maybe.
I don't think I've ever heard you talk about it. My favorite is Last Crusade, but I know most people enjoy Raiders the most. I know we can all agree that the last one was a letdown, and I'm wondering if you think they should continue with another or just stop.
Just stop.
Just stop,
Yeah.
man.
They should have stopped in 1989 with the Last Crusade.
Yeah,
as
the
I
Last
said
Crusade
earlier.
should have been the end.
Yeah, I agreed entirely because, actually that was my first movie I ever watched of Indiana Jones. I had no idea there were two more until like my mom said there are two more, and I was like, really? Went to the video store and watched the other two. But yeah, that one's such a fucking let. Another one, which is probably going to be even worse. So I just let the man die. Let the man die.
Yeah, but Leo Van Horn, to answer it even more in depth, Indiana Jones, I was so into that shit up until the fourth one came out. I would always say it was the better trilogy over Star Wars. There wasn't a bad one. There wasn't a bad moment of any of them. Raiders is great.
Yeah.
Temple of Doom is great. Last Crusade's great. All the way through, those movies are fucking 10 out of 10 solids for me. I have no complaints. I like Short Round. I like Willie Scott. They make sense within the realm of the story. They're not annoying. I don't really know what to say else. I love Indiana Jones. Bought the fucking $100 doll, every action figure when I was working for 7-Up. Shakti Day! One in Chicago! And all that other shit.
Yeah.
Oh, she died. Oh, she died. Oh, she died.
Oh, God.
Yeah, ask me off air what that means.
Oh, okay. You know what it means. Cool. Okay.
All right.
We're going to learn something new off air, folks.
We're going to learn Samoan.
Sure, we'll go with that. We'll go with that.
All right. This comes from Hell's Fury 56647. Which was better, the 2003 Clone Wars or the CGI Clone Wars?
I have not watched either one, so I don't know.
I will give you the 2008 is better from a story standpoint, but I think the 03 just is stylistically cooler.
Yeah, I think I have to go. I mean, I think I liked 08, but obviously more in-depth story and everything. Plus, the more characters I got to see a background on, especially a lot of the clone troopers, I think I have to go with 08.
They're both good choices, so everyone's a winner in that. Okay, this one comes from Green Mario. Okay, so you're back in time. It's right before The Force Awakens begins production. You've successfully incapacitated J.J. Abrams and have a perfect disguise resembling him. Dion Green and Kendo Slice have taken the identities of Ryan Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy. Not sure which is which. How do you handle the making of these movies? Or you also have the last option of taking a giant meteor and crashing it into Disney. I kind of want to go with that final option.
Yeah, I'm thinking Meteor, bro.
Yeah, let's live the nuclear option. Let's do that. Like, fuck it, everything goes to shit.
It all floats. Actually, nobody floats. It just burns.
Different movie.
They all
You don't
burn.
float. They all burn down here. You'll burn too.
Yeah, actually, you know what? That still works. That still works.
Let's rip off it and just use that phrase and see if we get sued.
Ooh, I like.
You'll burn too. You'll burn too. Yeah, we'll burn in court.
Yeah,
We'll
I mean,
fucking
like,
vote.
yeah, because like that still works when you change that one word, and it's still fine. I think we'll be okay.
Yeah. We just
That's
won't
a
tell
risk
them where
I'm
we got
willing
it.
to take, guys. World Class Bullshitters Movie 2020 thing, and that's
Yeah,
it.
We'll just say I got that. I was in church, and that's what the preacher was yelling. So I was like, oh, that's actually riveting. That'd be great for a movie.
Yeah.
When were you in church? Okay, never mind.
No, like
Are you thinking or?
no, you were
Your
cut.
audio
It
cut
was
out.
like, yeah, it was really
Sorry,
slow. It was
I'm
like,
sorry.
when were you? I was like, are you going to get to your point?
I'm sorry.
You're like the thin man
sometime.
from Phantasm.
I was there before, once in the way back times.
So basically, I guess we'll all do the meteor. To be
Okay.
honest, not even to just answer your question quickly, the meteor would be the best answer because that way, one thing everyone has to realize: the MCU would have already been set up properly because Paramount was still involved with the first Avengers.
Yep.
So we've already hit that endpoint. We wouldn't be living through like, oh man, the Marvel movies could be so great if Disney was involved. No, Kevin Feige's still there. Everything else is still fine. So Disney's gone. Marvel's possibly better. Who knows? Liquid Metal Pro! Are you a god?
Yes.
Yes.
Alright, then live. Okay, Poison Ivy has 2 questions. How tall are you guys?
Tall enough to fuck you in the butt.
Well, we're all over 6 feet. I'm like 6'5". Dion, what are you, 6'2"?
6'1".
Okay. Kender, you're what, 6 feet even?
Yeah.
Nick, you 6 feet even?
Yep.
There we go. That's how tall we are. Oh, and what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Pistachio.
Not pralines and dick. Sorry.
No.
If you know what that's from,
Wayne's World.
comment down below. Damn it, you ruined it! It's a game for the listeners, Kendo! For them, not you!
Nice.
I know you're smart.
If he were an ice cream flavor, he'd be pralines and dick. No.
And you had one job and you fucked it up. You
Yeah.
had one
Fucking
job.
fired, Kendo. 40 million fucking Deutschmarks.
Okay. All right.
If you know what movie that's from, you get bonus
And
points.
don't say it. Don't fucking say
Yeah.
it.
Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yeah, close enough. You're fired. I think I'll go with like a chocolate chip cookie dough. Fucking love
Superman.
cookie dough.
Love Superman.
So you like vanilla ice cream?
I see what you did there.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen you eat ice cream.
I don't eat a lot of ice cream. I really don't.
Well, we'll change that. We'll get beer floats.
Ooh, those are good.
Okay, corporate overlord. How do I get super glue off a stone bench top? Turpentine and club soda.
Or just like paint remover. Like that'll do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say just get yourself some sort of rough. Depends on the finish of the bench top. I mean, if it's like got a nice finishing stain on it, then once you could or paint, you could take some rough grit sandpaper and just be like really like gentle, but not too gentle. You want to get the shit off there and get it down to where you can just like reapply the sealer or the paint on it. So like you just get it to where you rough it out enough to where there's no more of that stuff there, and then you can just reapply your coating over the top of it.
When did we become tool time?
Yeah, thanks, man.
Just now.
I mean, it's not that hard. They could ask me how to like do a few things around the house. I've learned a lot since I've moved into Camp Kendo.
I'm very proud of you, Ken.
I've watched a lot of DIY shit and this old house type crap in the last 5 months.
All right, Bob Vila's your new hero.
Nice.
What do you think stores will do with the excessive Star Wars toys in the next 5 years? That comes from Umpteen Expression.
I think there's going to be a lot of children in Africa who are going to get a lot of old Star Wars toys like they do the shirts of the teams that
Super
don't
Bowl
win the Super Bowl.
I want a picture of like some little boy. It's like there's a new controversy online. Instead of the monkey sweater, it's like a kid in a Patriots hat and like with a
my
Ray
God.
action figure.
Are you picking the
my
Eagles?
God.
Yeah, I hope the Eagles win.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, I think what they should do though is put every toy that didn't sell into a giant hole and just set it on fire.
They should mail them to us, and we'll make videos of us melting them.
Oh my God.
We'll deep fry Porg action figures.
Oh my God, yes, just do that. They'll do horrible things to them.
I'll bring
mail them to us.
I'll bring my driver. We'll take turns like trying to tee off on the heads.
Ooh, I like it. Okay, this is a question for Dion, and I'm going to answer it too, Jackson Ritchie, because this is like my daily dilemma: big tits or big ass?
Ooh. I think I'm going to have to go with, if I have to choose, big tits. If I have to choose.
I would always say boobs in the past, but the older I get, if I see a nice butt, I like literally cannot look away.
Yeah.
Like, I'm transfixed by it. It's just like, oh my God. And that's all I can think about for the next moment. I don't know.
The next 2 minutes.
My answer is the same as it's been for a long time: big ass. Because if you can't do anything about a little ass, you can make her do squats or anything like that. But some girls are just naturally gifted with that nice big round ass, not like big fat ass. The good ones. They look good in pants.
That kind Sir Mix-a-Lot sang about.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Whereas if she doesn't have that big of boobs, you can always get implants. So that's why you always take the ass, because you could fix the tits.
Yeah, you could. You definitely could.
Oh my god, that's a fucking good fucking answer right there.
Yes, you gotta think of it strategically. What can I improve if we need to? So then you get the big ass, you go get her some implants, and you get them both. You got both. And then every once in a while you run across, the great white buffalo where she has both, and you're just like, wow.
I see those all the time.
You mean the unicorn?
Great white buffalo. No, the unicorn is where she has all that, doesn't have fucking kids by, 3 kids by 3 different dudes, and has her own job and all that other stuff. That's where the unicorn comes in. Like the variable.
All right.
Are we the Maury show now? What the fuck is happening?
I have no idea.
No, because I'm saying those girls don't exist. There's always something wrong, and it's usually kids.
This has been a moment with Kendo. Okay, this comes from Camilo Gullet. Or no, is it Camille Goulet? I don't know.
Bob Goulet?
Who you are. Yeah. It's
Cajun Christmas?
Cajun Country Christmas? What do you think about Ryan Johnson ordering a shirt that says, "Ask me about my feminist filmmaking agenda"?
Fuck him.
Yeah, right in the post.
Okay, all right. If Ryan Johnson's like really on board with this bullshit, he will wear a Forces Female shirt and he will take a picture in it and he will post it. If he's that with the cause, that's what'll happen. Kathleen Kennedy will hold his balls and be like, "You better fucking do this right, goddamn now." Put it all over your Instagram. Do what?
He's going to be laughing and look back on his movie and they say that he sucks. He ain't going to be laughing then.
Dude, if I was Ryan Johnson, I wouldn't do anything they say because I'm done. I wouldn't care about my new trilogy. I wouldn't give a fuck. I'd just be like, you know what? I'm done. I don't want to deal with this power-hungry, maniacal piece of shit. Goodbye. So, on to the next question. Dumbest Star Wars merchandise item you've come across from each era? I'm sure a Star Wars gravy boat exists, and if it does, that's my answer.
No!
Gravy boat. You put gravy in it.
No! You want to see some dumb Star Wars stuff? Go to ThinkGeek. They've got the dumbest shit. They have like
everything on ThinkGeek. Sucks pretty much.
They have like R2-D2 fucking high-heeled shoes for women and shit like that, and it's just like, what? What is this? What is going on right now?
No, Jeff, I have bought a Das boot off of ThinkGeek for like $10. Holds 6 beers.
Okay, Broken Clock is right twice a day, man. So even then,
they've at least got one thing that's worth having on ThinkGeek.
I look at ThinkGeek. It's like the what's his name, like the Flick Pick Critic, or these guys on YouTube that they got themselves in front of a webcam, and you can tell that they went out like the day before and they bought like those giant 24-inch Star Wars figures and all this new stuff. They went to Hobby Lobby. They got those printed posters on the wood. Like it's all the fake geek shit. It's not like somebody like Dion who's got like a $400 C3PO that he's been lusting after for years, or how I go,
right.
Oh, if I turned on my camera, there'd be the original Power Rangers. I didn't just rush out and get the Legacy Collection ones and then start talking about Power Rangers on YouTube or some dumb shit. It's like, to me, your geek card really only works if you've been into this shit your whole life, or for an extended period of time and you're not just rushing out to get the newest shit to show off. Like, buying merchandise to show off makes you an idiot.
Yeah, okay.
If you enjoy it thoroughly, different story.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Like, I think one of the dumbest things I've seen on ThinkGeek that is Star Wars related is this. It's the Star Wars R2-D2 op suit. It is a fucking R2-D2 suit that you can wear.
I've seen that. There's like a weird dude with a shitty haircut.
Yeah, they even have the Darth Vader one as well. Like these, who the fuck is gonna wear this anywhere? The R2-D2 one looks like shit. The Vader one, maybe, but like that's still like, because it's black and red. I mean, you can't really go wrong with that. But you have all this like the little prints of his helmet on there, which is just weird. I don't see that being a thing. Like that to me is too far. You know. And also, I think with recently with Disney owning Star Wars, you have like fucking Star Wars like brawny towels and like Campbell's soup cans and all kinds of weird shit like that. It's like, why are you going this far?
Star Wars coleslaw.
Oh, God.
I saw Star Wars cauliflower. That was the dumbest one.
Yeah, and it's just like, why are you going this far with this? Like, we get it. You want us to buy this shit. Cut it out.
Okay, this one comes from Mark Greenberg. Will you make a new letter to Kathleen Kennedy after The Last Jedi? Probably not. Maybe after Han Solo, but definitely not. That is not in the cards anytime soon, because I pretty much hit the nail on the head when I made that first video. It wasn't even like intentional. It was just something I made out of like, I need to make a video today, and that happened. Very successful. Okay, Abraham. Oh, I thought I said Abraham Lopez. I'm like, what a weird mix-up of names. Okay, this comes from Abraham Linez. Why are our movies and entertainment run by liberal morons with agendas? Seriously, when did everyone in Hollywood decide to advocate for something?
About the same time they started raping each other.
So forever?
Yeah. Apparently.
No, it's one of those things where people like, well, because we've been slowly becoming a PC culture, and then you have people, in offices that are women or whatever, just like, oh, you can't do this, I'm a woman, or you can't do that, I'm a woman, and slowly, and they start voicing their opinion about being disenfranchised and not being part of the group and not being equal, and then they slowly worm their way up to the top, and that's how that happens.
Yep. Infiltration at every level.
Well, all they're going to do is hurt themselves. That's all I can say. It's not good for business.
Yeah, we've been saying for a while now that any movie that has some sort of agenda on it will not last the test of time. We will look back on it and be like, that was fucking retarded. Why did that happen?
And it has a short shelf life like Ghostbusters. That movie is considered not good. It never was.
Yeah, it's... Oh, God. Well, they fucked up when they made the first trailer, and it's like 4 scientists. I'm like, nope, that's wrong. You fucked up already.
Winston wasn't a scientist. He just needed a job.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can't even get your own basic mythology right. Why am I supposed to get excited for some fucking movie?
If there's a paycheck in it, I'll believe anything you want.
Well, my name's not Mundane Matt. I don't shill for bullshit.
Mundane cuck. Get it right. Damn.
I almost made a video about him today. Like, he did something recently that pissed me off to no end. I'm just like, I wish you didn't even make YouTube videos. Like, you serve no purpose.
Hey, everyone,
But
it's
I got
Mundane
sidetracked.
cuck.
Turn off your pesky ad blocker. No, go fuck yourself. How about that?
Buy this microphone.
No, I ain't buying shit from you, Matt. I will go and, like, I don't know, I'll buy it from Alibaba before I'd buy it from Amazon just to spite you, you piece of shit. Sorry. I'm kind of tired today. I think they've always been kind of weird, but like you said, Nick, it's really more of a recent thing. Like, they're trying to, this inclusion. Let me tell you something. There are certain types of people that aren't going to watch certain types of movies, so don't fucking change them. Dion's not going to start getting into, like, lesbian rom-coms. Like, maybe late at night he'll turn on something because it's like, hey, there's a hardcore lesbian scene and I'm bored or whatever, or my wife's asleep. That's the only way you're going to get, like, certain people to watch this weird shit. And then it's like, you ruin Star Wars with weird agendas, and if you do it with James Bond, I'll go nuclear. Like, it just doesn't fucking work, because people are going to look back like, oh, that's the bad one, and then no one buys the merchandise from it, and then you bring it out, and people just boo it, and it's not a good time for anyone.
Yep.
Just do what makes the most sense. Stop trying to give your take on it. Like, whoever's writing this shit, 9 times out of 10, isn't as good as the creator of it, so just fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, you're all forgetting the first rule: make a good story. Like, you're forgetting that, and then you're adding your agenda and diversity and all other bullshit, which we don't need. I mean, if you want to add a new character and happens to be a black or white woman or whatever, this that, and the other, then that's fine. Add that, but give them purpose. Give them a reason to be that way or whatever. Like, don't just add them because you.
Why don't you pull in aliens and write everyone as like asexual, so it doesn't matter what gender they are?
Yeah, just do that.
Oh, Ripley just happens to be a woman. Like, oh, okay. Not some like Alien isn't some feminist piece. It's just like, oh, Ripley is cool.
Yeah, she's a badass.
Yeah. Oh, but get away from her, you bitch, is this great iconic line. It's a good line, but she's fine. She's not like she wasn't intended to be what people make her to be. Now, does Sigourney Weaver embrace it? Yeah. It's smart though.
Oh yeah.
It keeps you relevant.
Yep.
Let's see. Okay, so somebody asked us about Battlefront 2 story. We didn't actually play it, so Ben Ramsey, I'm sorry. We don't have any answer for you. Even if it was a free game on the PlayStation Network, I probably wouldn't play it, so I'm sorry. Okay, R Sexy. What do you rank each Star Wars episode in list? So from best to the worst for me, it's 4, 5, 6, 3, 1, 2, 7, 8, 8, 7. I don't know. They're both shit. And if we're ranking Rogue One, I like it more than most of the prequels. I don't.
Yeah, because that story was it was a complete story all the way through. Like they died in the end, so there's no worry about them ever coming back. So it's fine.
I don't have to see Cassian Andor on my screen ever again, which is a good thing. Cassian, he was a fucking boring character. What about you guys?
I think I had to go 5, 6, 4, 3, 1, 2, and then 8, 7 because they're both just so fucking bad.
Let's see. I'd go 4, 6, 5. 3, 1, 2, and then I'm not going to even acknowledge the other ones. I'm sorry.
You know we're one episode away from being able to say 8, 6, 7, 5, 3, 0.
9.
Jenny!
Who do I turn to?
Let's see.
I think we should start a Tommy Two-Tone cover band, Dion. Just the two of
Oh,
us.
fuck yeah.
We'll get shitty mullets and learn how to play one song on the guitar.
Deal. Done.
That's how I want to spend the rest of my life. Living in a houseboat on Lake Michigan playing one song.
There you go.
Super vacation.
Yeah, you just open for like weddings and bar mitzvahs. It's like thanks, good night. Did one song, you charge $2,000 for it, and just leave.
I'm like Chaz Michaels at that one part in Blades of Glory when he's drunk and stupid.
Oh my god!
That's, at least I have the money.
5, 4, 6, 3, 1, 2, 7 and 8 by themselves together, tied because they're pieces of shit that I'm never going to watch again.
All right, Nick, have you answered? Or?
Yeah, man. I answered already.
Okay. Okay, next question. What did you think about the 2017 It movie?
Loved
We all
it.
loved it.
Loved it.
Thank you, Joyhood82.
Super loved it.
Okay, El Rey asks us what would we do to change The Force Awakens and Last Jedi. We kind of already talked about that one already. What is your favorite movie soundtrack, both classical and non-classical? And that comes from J, just the letter J with a picture of Han Solo. Dion knows my answer.
Absolutely.
It's not even fucking, like, I don't even know how to say it anymore. It's just like, yeah, it's common knowledge. It's all I live
Yeah.
by.
If you've watched if you've listened to a few of our episodes, you just know. You just know.
If you're a patron, you can listen to Dion and I play a game called Which Version of Axel F is
Oh my
This? And,
god!
Exactly.
yeah, it was intense. So my answer is Beverly Hills Cop is my favorite movie score, non-classical. And then Star Wars for, like, traditional movie score. That score is just fucking perfect.
You had to say episode 3, Star Wars episode 3 is my favorite, classical and non-classical. Fuck. I don't even,
Yeah, we know you love Beverly Hills Cop.
yeah, no, and I'm gonna try and fuck around with that one. Yeah.
Yet you didn't buy the goddamn soundtrack.
I know. I
Never
fucked.
sold out forever.
I fucked up, man. I fucked up.
Forever!
I
I'm like
fucked
Terry
up,
Funk.
dude.
Forever!
Yeah.
I shouldn't make fun of Terry Funk. He's like, oh, he was in a John Carpenter movie.
Yeah.
He was?
No, no, sorry, he was in Over the Top. It's not a John
I'm about to
Carpenter
say, I was like,
film.
I
No, I
remember
thought he
John
was
Carpenter.
in one of Carpenter's like B movies. I thought.
All of Carpenter's movies are B movies.
They're just really iconic.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up later. I don't want to derail this. Kendo, Nick.
Nick, go first.
All right, my favorite movie soundtrack is Once Bitten. I spent a lot of money on that soundtrack, and I fucking love it because I spent a lot of money on it. Classical one, man, it's got, I don't know. I think I'll go with A New Hope. Honestly,
It is that good.
yeah, it is. It's. I mean, it's the first Star Wars movie. It's iconic as shit, and you know when you hear any of the songs, you immediately know what's going on. You know, so you can't go wrong with that.
And you don't get 50 million like reprises of the same thing. That's why I don't like the Empire Strikes Back score that much, because it's like Intro to Cloud City, dun 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 dun. Asteroid Field, dun 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 dun. It's like, I get it, John. You're proud of the fucking Imperial March. It's a fantastic piece of music. Change the record.
Come up with new shit, goddammit.
For as old as he is, he's done an incredible job staying fresh and being relevant. He's the greatest composer of all time.
Oh yeah.
Kendo, close it out.
I don't really really know for classical, the movie Gettysburg, because that's a really good soundtrack. And I don't know, whatever, something with like a lot of metal music. I don't know. Last Action Hero. We'll go with that.
Watch The Last Action Hero has like a terrible score, and you're like, this is garbage.
No, I know it's got like
Wait, a lot
tracks and shit.
of metal music. Go with Freddy vs. Jason then.
All right. As long as it's not like shitty, like crappy metal stuff that they got out nowadays.
I don't know, man. I remember listening to the soundtrack when the movie came out, and it was I assume it's metal. I don't know exactly what it was. I just liked it.
Shit is what it is, Nick.
Because
All right, Freddy vs. Jason is a shit movie.
It is.
Monica Keena can suck my ass. I hate that movie.
Hey, it's amazing. All right, it's the first horror crossover that ever happened. All right, respect it, sir, please.
What about the Wolfman meets Abbott and Costello? Yeah, motherfucker! Boom!
Black Sabbath
Roasted.
on that album, on that soundtrack.
Yeah, they were on the Out movie for sure.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
Because, that's what they did back then.
yeah, in the 20s.
It was a simpler time.
Although movies
Full
with like
of
heavy
time.
80s soundtracks, I'm pretty good with too.
Like Less Than Zero.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, Cool J's on that one, I think.
Hot Tub Time Machine.
Well, that's not real music from Lugal. Motley Lue.
Well, no, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about the other actual real music that they had in there that was 80s.
My bad. That movie's fucking great.
I know.
Anyway, hypothetical. You have the power to redo one movie in the past. Example, make a new ending, take out an unnecessary character, redo plot points, rewrite dialogue, fix special effects, change settings, add different characters, etc., etc. The new version of the movie becomes canon and replaces the old movie. What movie would you redo? Why? And why would changes and what would the changes be? Each bullshitter must come with an answer, please. And fan submission is also appreciated. Well, I can't help you with the fan submission, but I can tell you that I'd choose Spider-Man 3. Because Spider-Man 1 was great, Spider-Man 2 was greater, and then 3 was a dumpster fire. I'd fix the whole movie. There'd be no Venom subplot. Actually, no. There would still be Venom. There'd be no Sandman. The movie would be about Peter and Harry, and it would be more of like a psychological type of thing. And then when Peter gets rid of the suit at the end, it reaches Eddie Brock, and then the movie ends with a cliffhanger, Venom to come in part 4.
And Eddie Brock
That's just my
would
quick
not
answer.
be played by Topher Grace.
No, Eddie Brock would be played by... It's 2007. Who's big and buff and blonde?
Bobby.
Not Sam Worthington.
Patrick Warburton? I don't know.
Fabio.
If this was 1996, yes, Fabio.
You can't believe it's not butter.
Can't believe he's not dead.
Yeah, hit in the face with a goose.
Wasn't that on a roller coaster?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
What are your guys' answers?
I would change Blade Trinity. I would fucking get rid of Jessica Biel. I would fucking get someone to beat the shit out of Wesley Snipes and get his head out of his ass and stop sitting in his trailer smoking weed the whole time. I wouldn't have Stephen Goyer do it. I'd have, was that 2005? I'd have Benicio del Toro come back and do Blade Trinity. And then,
you mean Guillermo del Toro?
Benicio del Toro. What the fuck?
He's busy making the Star Wars movies.
Guillermo del Toro come back and do Trinity. And then instead of making it with Dracula, I would just make it with what was it? I can't remember the villain's name from the comic book, but it wouldn't have been Dracula for that. Would have been just another badass villain, and it would have been way fucking better than what we got.
How about Blade versus Morbius, the Living Vampire?
That would be a good one.
And then Spider-Man comes into the film.
Right, I was really then you have a little crossover action.
Yeah, Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man, and Wesley Snipes. I'm probably sure there's no chemistry there, but still, it'd be cool. Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Nick, Kendo?
I'm still thinking.
Let's see. I would redo the Matrix trilogy, the last two.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I would take out a lot of the bullshit, the architect, this, that, and the other. Make it just about and not make Agent Smith the virus or whatever the hell he was, just the catalyst of the whole thing. I'd make it to where they have to just get people out. That's the thing, is like mass exodus, and they find they find some sort of, like, I don't know, cheat code or hack to get into the code of the Matrix that I guess Neo has to put in himself, like inside the Matrix, that he has to release everybody all at once and kill the machines, not just leave them to where like they need each other or some bullshit like that. That was in fucking part 2. It's like the machines need us, we need them. Like no, he finds some ancient code or something that's in somewhere, and he plugs it in part 3. Like he finds it in part 2, plugs it in part 3, and everybody's released. Done.
Kendo.
I would redo Face Off, and I would take out John Travolta, put in Bruce Willis, and I think the movie would just fix itself.
Ooh, that's not bad.
Because Travolta is not an action hero.
Do you not see Broken Arrow?
Again, like I said, John Travolta is not an action
I
hero.
fucking love Face Off. I don't know. I might disagree with that one, buddy.
Yeah, I love Face Off as well.
Well, I do too, but I just think it would be
The
much
Nicolas
more
Cage parts sell the film, but
Yeah, I was gonna say, I just think it would be much more epic if you put Bruce Willis in for John Travolta.
Damn, dude. I don't. Oh man.
And that's like I said, I like the movie too. I just think that if you did that, it
Yeah,
would take it
that-
up even higher in the
It
stratosphere.
would. It would. No, it would. It would. Wow. Damn. Yeah. Man. Yeah. That'd be something to see.
Okay, next question. What are your thoughts on diversity in comics? From Beta Baxter. Well, Beta Baxter, I like diversity in comics because he gave me a shout out once, which helped the channel grow a lot, and I like his content. So that dude's alright in my book.
Yeah.
Plus, I agree with most of his thoughts on comic books. And he calls it like he sees it. He doesn't really sugarcoat stuff, and it's refreshing at this point. I'm so tired of people like, what's his name? Rob from Comics Explained, or the Comic Historian, or just people that are just like, oh, well, if you have a different opinion, everything's great. Like, what's that one guy? Eris Quinones, or that bald guy from the other comics, NerdSync. I fucking hate NerdSync. That guy is so annoying. Like, if you don't know who this is, listeners, I apologize. Don't look him up. Not worth your time. If you people want comic book content, Dion and I will make something for you. But until then, don't go to NerdSync. Okay, this is interesting. This will actually be a fun one. What are your thoughts on other franchises or trilogies like Pirates of the Caribbean, The Hobbit, and one franchise I really want to get your opinion on is the new Planet of the Apes reboot trilogy.
Planet of the Apes, awesome. Pirates of the Caribbean, bullshit. Hobbit, overdone.
I'm with you pretty much on that one. I fucking love the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, I
the
mean,
new one.
I once again I got exposed to those movies as a kid, and I fucking loved the shit out of them. The old ones, they are dated. The makeup does look dated, but that's because I think that to me makes them better because of that, because they're very dated in that time. Even though they talk about the future and stuff, I fucking love the shit out of them. Roddy McDowell was the man in all of them. Fucking love him. I got burned on the Tim Burton movie because I was like, yeah, this is gonna be awesome, and it fucking blew.
Yes.
So when the new ones came out, I was hesitant to watch them. I only watched the first one that came out on cable, and I loved it. And part 2 was amazing. Part 3 was even better. So those movies are fucking awesome. I hate the fucking Hobbit movies so much, and the Lord of the Rings shit. God damn it, I can't. I just can't.
I call that sword and sorcery garbage, and I don't watch it.
Yeah,
But yeah, Nick, I'm with you 100%, dude. Original Planet of the Apes is so much fucking fun.
It is. Oh, dude, I got the big ass Blu-ray like book thing. Oh my god, I love it. They look so good.
One of my favorite parts of the entire movie, and it's not even a good part. It's when Charlton Heston's like, "You cut out his brain," and he runs up the stairs really quick, and then they throw a fucking net on him, and he's like, "Ah!" and he just rolls down.
Yeah.
It's unintentional comedy, but I love it so much.
Yeah.
He's so intense.
Hey,
the entire film.
Yeah, they're like, you cut his brain out. Oh man,
You damn dirty ape.
yeah.
Okay. Can you tell us your channel origin story for new subscribers? Well, it's not how we met, so basically, way back in 2011 when I lived with Dion and his now wife, we had a friend named Dustin who used to be on the show. And Dustin and I would try to come up with crazy ideas for like skits and stuff to make. We were going to call ourselves Future Pop, the future of pop culture. Well, Dustin was Dustin, and nothing came of it. So a couple of years later, I was on Facebook, and I said, we should start a podcast. And so a bunch of people showed interest, a few people showed up, and that's how the channel started. And like we said earlier, the 4 guys we have now, it's kind of taken a while to get here, but we're very glad we did because of the chemistry. Okay, from Sir Derek Esquire, good friend of the show. if shit ever hit the fan and they made a Back to the Future reboot, who would the one actor in the world you think could play Marty McFly? He says Elijah Wood.
Oh, that's funny. That's really funny because he's in part 2.
Mm.
That's hilarious. But Elijah Wood's like 40 now.
That's a baby's toy.
I actually thought about this the other day, and I was like, I know it's gonna be a shit answer, but I think the kid from Spider-Man: Homecoming could probably pull off Marty.
He's the same height, so that's good, I guess.
But he kind of plays an awkward high school thing really well, and I feel like he could do that.
But Marty McFly really wasn't that awkward. Like, yeah, he had issues with Mr. Strickland, but he had a girlfriend who was hot.
Right.
And you know he was banging her, and he was a rock star, or at least trying to be a rock star. Marty McFly was kind of a cool kid that had douchey parents.
No, you're right. Let's see.
Because that was like the weird, like that awkwardness you're talking about is like a very Michael J. Fox trend. Like that whole, like he puts his hand in his pocket and like moves around and shit.
Oh,
He does
yeah.
that in all this stuff.
Okay, all right, yeah, you're right. Let's see.
I don't want a Back to the Future reboot ever.
Wait, somebody asked a
Like,
question about a Back to the Future reboot?
Yeah, who
Yeah.
would we cast to play Marty?
That's fucking appalling to even ask that on this channel.
I know, but it's Sir Derek Esquire, and he's kind of cool. He's got a Kurt Cobain image, and he's a long-time listener, so
Okay.
we have to humor him.
Shia LaBeouf.
Get out.
That's my
Get
default
out.
answer for any question I don't
You
want to
get out,
answer.
sir. You get out now.
Thanks for playing, Dustin. It was nice to see you.
Marty, who would play Marty McFly in a I can't think of any like younger actors that are that good.
The
that
guy
I want
that
to-
played Steve in Stranger Things. What's his name? Fucking
Okay, yeah, maybe him. I don't want him, but like, you should put him in like a. He could
I
be
know
like a
you,
new Ferris
motherfucker.
Bueller.
I know you.
He could be Ferris. He should be Ferris Bueller if they have to remake.
Oh
Ferris
yeah,
Bueller.
yeah.
you're
Because
right,
he
you're
did the Domino's commercials with it. Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing I don't think most people understand about Back to the Future is the reason it works is because of the people involved. It's really a timeless movie, in a sense, like it works because of everyone that made it, and like Bob Gale and Robert Zemeckis grew up in the '50s, and then they remember certain things, and Michael J. Fox was just like the it guy of the '80s. You don't really have like an it guy of the modern day. You don't have an iconic car that's like kind of a joke, but you can turn into something else. Like Back to the Future was like lightning in a bottle. All those elements came together. We don't even have like a rich enough pop culture landscape to make something even a tenth that good.
No.
Like look at the shit we make nowadays: remakes, reboots, comic book movies, and bad Star Wars films.
Yep.
In the '80s, you had something unique come out every year, every week almost.
Yeah, it was awesome back then because they were forced to make original content, and it was some of it was bad, but some of it was really good and memorable. That's why we always talk about it now because they're good movies. They tell a good, compelling story, and they're characters we can relate to.
Some of it was Conan, and some of it was Interspace.
Oh.
Sorry, I hate Conan the Barbarian.
Oh, I got it.
Jason Momoa was awesome as Conan. I refuse to let anyone say anything. I love that movie. He was awesome.
I won't shit on him in that. I liked him.
If they reboot it, you get for Marty, you get Eric Stoltz,
Okay, I like your answer.
the original Marty.
Okay, all right, yeah.
I bet you listeners don't even know what that means.
No,
Watch the
they
fucking deleted scenes, assholes.
no, if they're gonna look it up and be like, yeah, well, I know what it is. It's like, no, you don't. No, you fucking don't.
Dude, you know what would be interesting is if that's the only way they could get me to buy a new copy of Back to the Future without like a new remastered print, is if they're like, yeah, this has the alternate cut with Eric Stoltz, every
Stoltz
shot
cut.
reinserted.
Oh my god.
I'd be like, I'll buy it for $50.
I would too. I'd be like, oh man.
No price is too high.
Yeah, I'd be like, I would like to see this because that's the movie we would have gotten if they wouldn't have canned him from who they wanted originally anyway.
Yeah, Michael J. Fox was just perfect.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
Easily, definitely.
Gallifreyan Buccaneer. What happened to common sense? Since when did people taking obviously horrendous movies seriously become a thing?
Once
At what point exactly did our culture just die? I'd say in the last couple of years.
I was gonna
wouldn't
say
you?
once everything went PC and we had the rise of everybody's offended all the time, cuz.
Yeah, once people have acknowledged that once somebody's offended, that's the reason to say sorry. That's the problem. Just because you're offended doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
I think if you can offend somebody with like a movie or a TV show, you're doing a good thing because not everything's made for everybody.
Exactly.
You got to have something out there that's weird in the fringe. I'm not saying I want more Lars von Trier movies, but I don't want him to not have the ability to make what he wants.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, because he's he's making art, and art is subjective. I mean, he can it's what he does. It's fine.
Well, I think everything went downhill when everyone realized how awesome Tropic Thunder was, because you had Robert Downey Jr. in blackface and it was hilarious. But then all of a sudden, everyone's like, "Wait a minute, that's." And then it is 2008 was just fucking downhill from there. Like in that, I think that's what was the beginning of that shit. I think you can tell when something's like you can tell. I mean, it goes both ways. Right now it's the hot topic, fucking all these crazy super liberal people, but we make fun of people who have super conservative movies too. So like if the pendulum's swinging back in the other direction, like you look just as stupid as they do. And just because, we all laughed at something that was fucking comedy gold, now all of a sudden we've got to be introspective and have a movie that talks about what's going on. We know what's fucking going on. We live it every fucking day. The fact that
we don't want to go to the movies.
Yeah, that's why I go to the movies for. And the fact that we live in a world now where Jamie Foxx was talking about doing another movie with Robert Downey Jr. where he's in blackface again, and we might not ever see that because of this bullshit.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I remember hearing about that, and like I remember seeing the picture, and I was like, "That's no way. That's Robert Downey Jr. There's no fucking way." And I watched the movie, and I was just like, "Oh my god, that's him," and this is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Like, dare I say, it's the beginning of the end is '08, because I mean, it was Tropic Thunder, and then The Hangover was really raunchy, and all of a sudden after that, 2009 and 10 roll on, and everyone's getting really fucking, all of a sudden, this everything's got to be so fucking introspective, and it's stupid because, people forget, like, oh, he was in blackface. The point of that in the movie was he was making fun of people's reaction and making fun of actors at the same time, like Daniel Day-Lewis. Like, that was the joke. And it was hilarious. And the fact that we're missing out on shit like that because people are so busy getting pissed off at H&M about, do people do dumb shit and, like, make you cringe? Of course. But that's part of the process. Like, you figure out what's funny, what's not. The fact that we're going to miss out on so much cool shit, I just, that's the thing I always point to is fucking Tropic Thunder, man.
Yeah, man, it's crazy to think that now people are like, oh, that was wrong. It's like, no, that was fucking funny. And the thing is that
it's still
and
funny.
The thing is that now we've lost the raunchy comedies. We've lost them. They're gone. Right. We won't get the back party for another 5 years, I think, and then
hello.
When we make our movie, that's a raunchy comedy.
That's true. That's very true. So in another 3 years,
that's our crusade to bring that shit back.
Yeah, it's in pre-production right now, bro.
Well,
I gotta give 21 Jump Street credit.
Yeah, dude, no.
They really were able to tie in raunchy comedy with like introspective. That's why I think I like that movie so much, because I relate to both characters, because like we're barely older than the people that they make fun of in those movies,
right?
And it's like, wait, yeah, it's like I'll talk to somebody who's like 4 or 5 years younger than me, like, what the fuck, like how is that generational gap so small? Because the shit these people are into and all this other dumb crap. And then it's like us that we're still in our 20s for the most part. It's like, we're the old ones and all this shit. So that's why I enjoy 21 Jump Street, because they talk about like, oh, when I was in high school, it wasn't cool to be smart and this or that, and now it's cool to be smart and
that's like that was the joke. And and there are obviously exceptions since then. I mean, every once in a while we'll get something really good, but even in the second one where like he goes to college and fucking Jacob becomes all like ideal, like, yo man, it's 2016, you can't say fag. Like that was funny because like in part it's true, like no one wants to hear that, but at the same time it's like people say it and it's just like, well, people, like the reaction that people have is part of the funny part of it. And that was what was so refreshing about both those movies, because they were both just doing their thing, but they're also making fun of the tropes that people have. It worked perfectly, and we don't get that anymore as often as we should.
And we're not getting that 21 Jump Street Men in Black crossover, because that would make so much fucking money right now. Imagine those two with black suits on and all the alien technology going chasing the alien through New York.
It'd be great.
I want 8 of those movies right now. I want that so bad. That'd be fucking amazing.
Dude, I know.
Okay, your opinion on the prequels. We already talked about those. Vulcan asks, how good does it feel to know that many people hated The Last Jedi after putting up with a lot of people who said how great The Force Awakens was?
We told you it was going to happen.
It feels
I-
good.
So good.
He also says, "Congratulations on the rise of the subs. You deserve it."
Thank you. Well, I mean, on that, I mean, it was funny because when that happened, I think we were in the minority. A lot of people found our channel because of the review we did. And then 2 years later, when The Last Jedi comes out, I start seeing stuff more on YouTube about how the Force Awakens was horrible and was shit. I kept seeing videos in my feed, on YouTube about that constantly before that movie came out, and I was like, oh, they're all waking up. This is weird. And then The Last Jedi hit, and it hit hard, and everybody was just like, oh, nobody likes this. This is fucking hilarious.
So would you say that Star Wars fans are becoming woke?
I'm not going to use that word. Fuck that word.
The Force is woken.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Not even.
No.
Great
no.
song.
What I'm hoping is that we can start a movement and nobody watch Solo.
That's the one I don't want to fail, though, because then they'll say people don't want to watch male-driven action films.
Okay, damn it. All right, fine.
But it
won't-
will.
I want
because
episode
it
9.
sounds
Yeah,
horrible.
and then fucking John Wick will come out and we'll be just like, what were you saying about that bitch? What were you saying?
Yeah, John Wick 3 will come out and it just blow out of the water.
Yeah.
I wish it was time to watch John Wick 3.
So do I. I'd be calling my dad. Be
I
like,
might pop
"Dude,
on John Wick 2 right after this
Oh
review.
God,
Or this
I'm gonna pop in John Wick 1 after this.
thinking about watching Hot Tub Time Machine."
No, Kendo, you should turn on John Wick and we'll record
You and your hot
Okay.
water, you and your hot water container of temporal displacement.
Look, if Chernobyl was a real thing, I would buy it.
So would I, dude.
If you want to do an impromptu commentary on John Wick, I am 100% down.
I mean, if the three of us were gonna watch it already, why the fuck not?
I'm literally looking right at them. They're one of the few
Okay,
movies
so let's finish out
that
these
sit
last
and
few
hear with
questions. Oh wow, we are actually at the bottom of the questions. We only have a few left.
me. Yay.
So somebody asked, would we ever consider doing debate-style videos with people who like the new trilogy, or any other person who disagrees with you on movies? Maybe, but I'm going on a show like that next Tuesday, so if you really want to hear something like that with me, I will post all the information, Tea Time 21, and you will get to hear that.
Fuck him up, Jeff.
Oh, believe me, I've been going through and preparing. I have notes. I might, they're like, you can't cuss and you can't do this. You can't attack the other person. I'm like, well, there goes all the fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say
But secondly,
debates.
I'm just thinking to myself, I'm going to have to bitch smack them with facts and logic.
Do
Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
Do
Do
it,
you think it's possible
Doug.
that Disney...
You know what movie that's from? Comment below.
Yeah, I know.
I know you know.
Eden Prairie. So, is it possible that Disney would declare The Last Jedi non-canon and make a new Episode 8 that's actually
No.
good? No.
No.
I wish, but no.
They are going to stick to their guns. That's a hill they want to die on.
No.
I wish they would go back and redo 7. Like, sell it back to George Lucas and let him make it. CGI Carrie Fisher. Whatever.
No. That's not gonna happen. No studio. Well, I shouldn't say that. Because they're starting down a path. They're on that downward hill. So they're just gonna keep riding it.
I can't follow, Anakin.
They're gonna keep following
Sorry.
that hill until it quits making money. So
Yeah, that's a lot of trouble down that rod.
yeah,
Go down that.
So that's what's gonna happen.
Let's see. Other hobbies and interests.
Calligraphy.
Like cabinet making. I like how we both go to something none of us have ever done.
Basket weaving.
Your walk basket with me. Let's see. Drinking, video games, sports.
You'll be good at them. Sorry, that's an old joke from a YouTube video from 10 years ago. I can't even remember what it's
I am good at drinking. I am good at video games. I used to be good at certain sports. Then I retired.
Look, my knee.
I'm learning how to play guitar now to help combat,
PTSD.
PTSD.
Yeah,
From the sports injury. Because it was rough.
That ain't a joke, man.
It was rough.
We died.
No, it's just I heard
Back
that's
to
a good way
sandbang.
to combat Alzheimer's and stuff like that. And
Helps with your depression.
I'm not depressed.
You gotta admit it, man. You gotta admit it.
It's the first step of recovery, Brad.
All right, I'll take some time off from the show.
No, you have 8 weeks.
I need to
Oh
go
God! Oh God!
go to rehab.
WCBS rehab.
What are our thoughts? Yeah, stop being a pussy and toughen up, bitch. Okay, thoughts on Blade Runner 2049? I don't think anyone here has seen
Oh,
it.
no,
I
this is
did.
giving
I
up their
loved
hobbies and interests.
No, I haven't watched it. I've been meaning to watch it. I just haven't had.
I saw it not opening day, but the next during that week, and I fucking loved it. Little long, but I loved it.
I haven't watched it. Wasn't really interested.
I don't like the original Blade Runner. Yeah, I know. So that's why I didn't go see this one, because like, hey, I'm going to pay $20 to see a sequel to a movie I don't fucking enjoy.
Jeff, how dare you? It's art. It's such art.
I didn't see Mother either.
Oh God. God.
No.
Now I definitely have to.
No. Kendo saw Mother, didn't you, Kendo?
Yeah, I saw half of it. Then I couldn't do it anymore. I just couldn't do it.
You gave it all it's got, Captain?
I did. I could not give her no more.
Yeah. Watch.
You can always give her more if you know what I mean.
Well,
Watch it. It comes in the woods at night, and tell me what you think about that too.
dude,
That is the worst fucking movie I've ever seen in
the
theaters.
last several times
Oh,
I've been in Redbox, it pops like it's one of the movies that pops up on the front thing like recommended top picks, and I'm just like, I'm really tempted to push the button, especially when I can add on something for like 50 cents. That's really tempting. I was like, you know what? I got to see it because I want to be able to relate to how horrified they were and how shitty they felt.
Yeah.
I
Oh
just
no,
had-
I'm pretty sure it's on Prime now to watch. It's weird because it went to, like as soon as it came to DVD, it went to Prime
Dude,
immediately.
it is. It's either that or on Netflix or something. Because I was at my sister's house the other day doing doofus duty, and she's got all the stream channel stuff. She doesn't have like cable or anything. And I saw it on there, and I was just like, do I? And then instead, I turned on that thing about the toys that made us.
That was pretty
Or the
decent.
Tick,
The theme
one of the
song's
two.
fucking terrible.
Either the Tick or that. I've watched both since.
Yeah, I mean if it's on Prime, that's probably as cheap as you're gonna find it. So just watch it that way.
They're the toys that made us. Okay. Could you just do a rant video about all the shady bullshit practices you see going on in entertainment? From Dreg.
I feel like
God.
we kind of did that already.
God, if it's just about that, it would have to be like a 4-part video.
I mean, I could start bitching about the Oscar nominations this morning and how they're stupid. And we could keep going on about that. And I'm so tired of people saying, Wonder Woman got robbed. Wonder Woman was fine. It wasn't that fucking
Yeah,
good.
it wasn't one of the best movies of the year, assholes.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Gail Gadot wasn't one of the best actresses of the year, probably.
Yeah, she just wasn't buff enough for Brian Lake.
Yeah, Gal Gadot.
Yeah, dude, her chops aren't big enough, bro.
That's right. She needed to do some more
Sexy
squats.
woman, though. And I'm not afraid to say it in this political climate.
I don't really care that she's not that buff. I still find her attractive.
Yeah, she's a,
Good-looking broad.
beautiful woman. Yeah. I know Lape likes him buff and
He likes him beefy.
brawny.
He's into like Nicole Bass and shit.
He likes him teeny and toasty.
Oh my
Where's that from?
Oh my god.
Yeah, listeners, if you can pull those things out, if somebody could answer every movie quote that we put out in like a week's worth of videos, I might buy them a T-shirt. But you can't. But the thing is, they'd Google
Yeah,
it
they
and
would.
cheat, so I can't trust them.
Nope.
So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
take
the thing,
back
yeah.
what I said. Sorry, listeners. The internet has made it easy to cheat.
Yep.
So
We don't trust you.
okay. Here's the final question. What is the second worst act of any Star Wars trilogy in your opinion? Easy, The Last Jedi.
Yeah. It was. I mean, The Force Awakens is bad, but just fucking that movie, Jesus.
Yeah, but like when like it's funny, but like when you the Force Awakens was shit, and then when you light it on fire, it's flaming shit. It's still bad.
Yeah. Now it
You know?
smells even worse, and it's hot.
Yeah, it's hot. It's hot flaming shit.
Yeah.
It's like that Sandy Poop D2 taste, Dion.
Exactly. Too hammy for my taste.
I was telling somebody that story the other day, how it was like sand, and I was like, oh.
See, and the real kick in the dick to this question is there's really only two contenders because it's obviously not Empire. So it's either going to be that or Attack of the Clones. And Attack of the Clones didn't exactly set the bar too fucking high, but Last Jedi couldn't clear it. It's like, midget high jump. It's easy to get over that if you're a regular size, but apparently.
Do you guys want to hear an article that I saw today? It's called "Why Kylo Ren is a Better Villain Than Darth Vader."
Oh my god.
No, I can't take.
Yeah, you know what? I might make a response to that in the morning. If
Yeah,
I can
just
re-find the
it
video.
is too
do
late.
that.
It is too late in the night for this shit.
Yeah, you mentioned John Wick, and now I've got a hard on for the Wick Man, and I'd rather just get to that impromptu thing and not have to hear about Kylo Ren being a better villain than.
Which is bullshit,
well,
because he's copying after Darth Vader, clearly.
He's a bitchier villain. He's
Yeah,
a
he's a cunt.
cuckier villain. He's a better villain when in terms of being a giant pussy.
You know what's going to be funny? We're going to get a movie that's not that good, but the main character is actually like a normal dude, and everyone's going to gravitate towards that movie. It's going to make a fuck ton of money.
yes.
It's gonna be called like Joe
Let's
Sixpack
hope-
or something like that.
Let's hope that we can make that movie.
We are that movie.
I am the League of Shadows. I'm here to fulfill Ra's al Ghul's destiny. Anyway,
Cool.
this is it, folks. This is your 15,000 subscriber special video. It's longer than an episode. God, it's 2.5 hours of us talking about stuff. So, thanks to the 74 people that submitted questions. If I skipped any, it's because they were repeats. So, if you didn't hear your name read on air, thank you anyway. We appreciate all 15,817 of you people.
At the time of this recording.
At the time of this recording, hopefully, when we do our next, I guess we'll do one for 20,000. No, we won't, because that'll be like 2 weeks. It'll just be like, hey guys,
Okay,
questions.
we'll do it for 50. We'll do it for 50,000. 50,000. There you go.
So yeah, tell everyone about this channel if you want us to do another one of these. I enjoyed this because I didn't have to like prepare. It was just like, oh, there's these questions. Time to read them to you guys.
Yeah, we'll
So I get
we'll
to hang
do
out
it
with my
again.
friends an extra night.
Yeah, we'll do it again at 50, and then we'll do it again at 100. So.
Yeah, and then once we get to 1 million, we'll make you like a 5-hour documentary on our lives.
It'll be.
You're laughing, but it's true. We'll have had movies and shit out by then. It's like, yeah, World Class Bullshitters, 1 Million Spectacular, narrated by Alec Baldwin. It's like,
Eric
Why?
Baldwin.
Oh my.
maybe we can get James Earl Jones to do it.
Yeah.
I feel like Alec Baldwin would listen to our content and find it.
We better hurry up
he
because
would
James Earl
objectify it.
Jones is getting up there in age.
All right, listeners, help us get to 1 million
Yeah,
views
we-
so we can get that James Earl Jones documentary process.
Yeah, the dude's like 85 or something like that. We got to do this like soon.
I mean, we could even push the envelope further and try to get Stan Lee to narrate it.
We're gonna have to get there tomorrow and last week.
Excelsior! now, blow Uncle Stan. Like, that would be an awesome.
No. Bad Uncle Stan. It's a bad Uncle Stan.
Yeah, but again, folks, thanks for watching. We'll be back. Well, I guess it'll
Tomorrow.
be today by the time you hear World Class Bullshitters episode
107?
whatever 107.
Three.
It's been a long day. We have no idea what tomorrow night's show will be. So thanks for watching. Thanks for being a subscriber. If you're a patron, double thank you to you, all 107 of you. I wish there. You know what? We'll throw the John Wick commentary on as a Patreon exclusive. How's that?
That sounds good.
All right. Thanks for listening, folks, and we'll see you at 50,000.